what's going on, everyone? This is episode number 21 of another gaming podcast. I am one of your hosts, Stephen the Laggy Gamer, joined with some fellow co-hosts, Dustin Christ. Dustin, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Nothing. Pretty excited to finally get this official first iTunes recording up. But before we get too much into that, let's introduce our second co-host, or third co-host, Chance Doomways. What's going on, Doombringer?
I'm so full right now. I might fall asleep.
What'd you have for dinner?
I actually had a very good double cheeseburger and some waffle fries. It was pretty good.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I had a turkey sandwich. Turkey sandwich, everybody. So
I had Chipotle for second day row.
Nice.
Delicious Chipotle. Well, yeah, as we said, this is our very first official iTunes episode where we are on iTunes, and this is an episode that should go right up to it as soon as we're done editing and everything. So that's pretty exciting news that we finally got that all worked out for everybody, because I know we were getting hammered on it a lot from a lot of people.
So let's not. He had nothing to do with it. You did the entire legwork of this, so congratulations to you, sir.
I didn't do anything. I mean, not even a little bit.
Well, I felt like I had to do something since everyone else put so much effort into this thing, so I made it a goal that had to happen. And sure enough, it did. So now we're on iTunes.
Everyone can stop bitching about it.
And if you want to, we'll leave links down in this new episode to our page on iTunes. And yeah, just go over there, subscribe, leave a review, and like it. I know we had a couple people do some reviews, and I don't know what's up with iTunes, though, but they're not updating. People are telling us that, hey, we're leaving reviews, but it's not showing it in the review column, so we don't know what's going on over there.
Maybe they just like batch them for a while, and then all of a sudden they come all out. I don't know. Maybe they have to review them or something.
It could. Maybe that's it. And I know for a short while there, we were on we still are on the new and noteworthy section, but at one point we kind of hung around the second row. But I checked it earlier in the week, and we were actually on the top row. So we were on the top row of the new and noteworthy.
What does that even mean?
It means we're awesome.
It means out of all the new podcasts going up, we're one of the ones getting listened to the most. So we're getting downloaded the most. That's what I would assume. So, but anyways, as you probably noticed, it's just us three tonight. We're not doing any co-host or anything or guest host to join us, because the last one, we just had so many issues with the recording, so we just wanted to do another one with us three, get it out there to you guys, and hopefully not have as many screw-ups this time in it as the last one, just with Skype dropping in and out. So hopefully it's going to go a little bit better for us this week, guys.
Yeah, I hope so.
Agree?
I hope it's even worse, to be honest.
No, this is my first time recording, so I don't want to go through all the crap you did.
Yeah, I had so much fun stringing those segments together, and then realizing that the entire, first 20 minutes of the podcast was completely gone. That was an amazing time.
Oh, that was when you sent the message saying, yeah, so we're missing all the important part where Crack Lotus is talking. And that's actually a lot of the main parts where Crack Lotus was talking, so it really stunk that we lost all of it.
Yeah, I was very, very angry, and a lot of obscene words were said. We'll just put it that way.
But oh well, we're here. I'm sure we'll try to get Crack on again later down the road. Like we're probably going to start recycling guests anyway, since we've pretty much gone through our lists of a lot of people we want. We got a few more guests we have in mind that are going to be coming on, but other than that, could be a lot of us three and just a lot of repeat people. So, which isn't a bad thing.
We're still trying to get that elusive Johnny Millennium on here. We'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah, we're slowly making little connections here and there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Dustin just had a new person comment on his video who kind of knows Johnny Millennium, so we'll see, maybe work some magic somehow. Anyways,
boy.
Let's since it's our first iTunes episode, in case this is the first episode that anyone's ever listening to, if you don't know me, Dustin Christ, or Doomwaves Chance, we are YouTubers on the internet, and we put up videos talking about mostly video games. We tend to venture off in other stuff too, but we all have our own respective channels. You can go check us out. We'll leave links all down to that stuff in the descriptions and stuff below as well. But yeah, that's what we do. We talk about video games online, and we decided, hey, let's talk about video games on a podcast because it's cool just to talk about video games with friends. And we're 21 episodes in. We got some mini-sodes up, and it's been a fun ride so far, guys, hasn't it?
Yeah,
You bet.
I mean, it's been an extremely fun ride, and I'm, thinking about it, I'm really kind of proud in a way because I think we are really making like a community here. With the game nights that we do, and things like that. Which, if you guys haven't yet, we do have a page on Facebook. That's where all the game night news is posted. So if you want to join us for a game night sometime, we usually post stuff out like a month in advance on when we're going to do something, and then you can come join us. Usually on PSN or Nintendo systems because it's free, and we usually play kind of cheap games. So if you don't have the game, it's not that big of a deal for you to go buy. But I'm really, I was watching Ducky Doo Gaming's pickup video
Oh, yeah.
the other day, and he just said like so many like wonderful things about
It was. That stuff he said was great.
yeah, and I had to kind of contain myself for a second because I felt like this overwhelming like pride, like God, I'm creating something. It's really kind of awesome that the friendships we've made, and just the little corner of the community we have here on YouTube. I really really dig it.
Definitely. What about you, Chance?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Once again, for people that aren't familiar or as familiar with the podcast, it started out with just you two guys, and just a few episodes in, you had me on as a guest, and that was a lot of fun. It was a great episode, I think, and then shortly after I came on board full time, and it's just been an amazing ride. And it's kind of interesting because you watch the YouTube videos of different people, and it's you feel like you know them a little bit, even if you've never talked to them, you feel like you know them a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And then like to come and have them as guests on the podcast, it's just like, oh man, these people are even more awesome than I thought. Like once you get to talk to them, actually,
Yeah.
it's just a blast. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling, like you said, when people talk about the podcast, either on Facebook or in their own respective YouTube videos. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Just, I don't know, hearing all this stuff that Ducky was saying. It is like we are having, like you said, Dustin, this little corner of a community here. And it's been pretty cool. And for the most part, when we have a guest on or something, it's like you were saying, Chance. It normally goes so smooth. It's not like we're talking to him for the first time.
It's like we've talked to him forever. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's been a fun ride. And the game nights that Dustin was talking about, just we kind of have some games in mind. But if you want to, go to the Facebook page and leave requests for games that you'd like to see on the game nights, because we have some in mind. Like, we all know Mario Kart's coming out, so that is going to be a definite for the 8 of us who actually own Wii U's, because no one seems to want to go get one. Smash Brothers, when that ever comes out later on in the year, that's definitely going to be one. But just suggest some stuff.
The Mario Golf Open.
Oh yes, Mario Golf Open will be happening.
I need to practice that.
Don't know how that will get recorded, but I mean, we got a bunch of stuff planned for game nights, and then Blazing Angels. I know that's another one I want to get in there to see play. But go ahead and leave lists and recommendations of games you'd like to see on the game nights, and we'll try to make it happen.
Of course, there will be a repeat of the greatest game ever made.
Oh yeah,
Aliens: Colonial Marines.
And it's gonna be fun. We talk about games we've been playing, and me and Chance get to touch on that later on in this episode.
Yeah,
but
I vote we play Street Fighter again, but that's just me.
Oh God, I don't want to deal with that.
If only those servers were better, because I love that game, and it just seems like the type of game that you could really get, like a cool like tournament style thing going on. But geez, those servers sucked.
And if only it wasn't like 8 people at a time. Like that's where that game night fell apart, was that we had 2 lobbies, and it's just like everyone's like, I don't know where I'm at, and
still was a good time. But
it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe Ultra can help with some of those things when that comes out in the summer.
But then getting people to buy Ultra at launch would be a little more difficult. Well, unless you already owned Arcade Edition, then I don't know how much the DLC will cost. But
I think you can still, it'll be cross-play they can just only play with their arcade edition characters or whatnot.
Sure.
I think.
Well,
So I don't know.
maybe that will help. Then I don't know. I'm probably going to buy it just because of how obsessed I got with arcade. But whatever.
I did get on a fighter kick since we were prepping for that episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to started picking up a couple fighters on a few different systems here and there just from that episode alone. So
Unfortunately, all my fighting game practice went into Fatal Fury: Mark of the Wolf, which does not translate at all to Street Fighter.
completely different styles. Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess to kick off this episode, we got a bunch of questions on our Facebook page and everything. Why don't we go through and just try to answer the questions just to start off that we've all received. Y'all cool with that?
Yep.
Actually, I'm going to start with the YouTube page first. I'm going to go through here. Since those were technically first, we'll see what we got. Alright. Actually, we just have on the YouTube page just one person asked 4 questions, so we'll go ahead and get that one out the way. Alright, this is from Gothorita. Hope I'm saying that right. Praised our channel a lot in our opening paragraph, but here are some questions for the next episode. If you could describe 2 of your favorite games in 5 words or less, what would they be? Here's mine. Final Fantasy Tactics, the melodramatic epic. Final Fantasy VI, greatness, the game. Okay, good luck, you guys, on doing this one. Describing 2 of your favorite games in 5 words or less. Since one of my favorite games is Nier, Dustin, one of your favorite games is Nier.
Yeah.
How about we try to team up and try to figure out 5 words for that one?
Oh God, are we going to double team Nier?
Best soundtrack in gaming? That's under 5 words.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unbelievable music.
Yeah, unbelievable music. I'm trying to think of the second one for me.
Ridiculous boobies.
For what game were you talking?
Nier.
Nier still?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on Nier.
I was like Lost Odyssey. I know
know.
you just played that. Maybe that's still in your head.
Oh, that
The
would
veins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the veins.
Okay, so Resident Evil 2, since that's one of my favorite games of all time. We'll say tank controls make scarier. I don't know. That's how I would describe it. I know, Chance, you hate tank controls. But I think that's
Yeah.
what really gives that game some of its life, is having those controls.
Then, if you hate tank controls, then Chance, you need to play Deadly Premonition on the PS3
Is it?
because Xbox has tank controls.
But the PS3 version doesn't.
Yeah, they changed the control scheme.
Oh yeah. Well, hell, I'm never going to buy the 360 version then.
Yeah.
Because I want to enjoy that game.
Yeah.
Got any jumping off in your mind, Chance?
Doom.
No.
Just plain fun.
Cool.
Dragon Warrior 3. What a twist!
There you
If
go.
you get to the end, you know. Because Dragon Quest games are not for their story, but that one for an NES game had quite a twist. I don't know. That's a weird one. I can't.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, anybody could say to their favorite game, you know, most amazing game ever. You know,
Final Fantasy
that's
VI.
5 words
Why so many?
or less.
Yeah.
That's
All right, we'll just move on to another one that they asked. What do you think would happen if there was a digital video game crash in the near future? So if digital games crashed, what do you think would happen?
Fucking cartridges, man.
I think we'd see prices go up on physical items that, stuff like that.
But you're already kind of seeing prices for some stuff go up on digital or on physical just because of digital.
I think there'd be
some things are becoming more rare because they're making less.
True.
I always wonder that about like Earthbound, like if the digital Wii U version is kind of driving up people's interest in getting the physical version. You know what I mean?
What was someone talking about the other day? Like a box copy or something now is up in the 500 range.
Yeah, but I think box copies have to be going for more than that because
I was gonna say I've heard people buying boxes for that much.
Yeah,
like just the box.
I think the cartridge alone is $300. I could be wrong though. I haven't checked this in a long time, but
I know a lot of times you'll get that thing if a digital comes out, the physical will go down. I don't see too many examples of that.
I think it kind of The only thing I've seen kind of drop is like the whole Xenoblade, Metroid Prime trilogy debacle.
Well, that's
That
all
kinda-
GameStop's fault.
That's GameStop's fault.
The
But
whole thing.
yeah, do you guys really think that they printed new ones, or do you think they just held back stock?
I think they
It's
held
really
back.
tough to. Yeah, I was gonna. My gut tells me they just held back a bunch of them,
Yeah,
like expecting it to become rare. But I don't see how they could do that with Xenoblade. It's like because I don't know. I don't know how they could think. Oh, this game is going to be amazing. People are going to love this game. Let's hold a bunch of them back.
but here's the
Metroid
thing.
Prime, I could get it because
Yeah.
Metroid itself is such a popular franchise.
Yeah, but what they did is they just created a false supply and demand problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think they had the
manufacturing.
means to actually manufacture the game.
Right.
Someone else would have to.
Yeah,
their
Nintendo would be on
distributor.
their ass about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, I don't know.
But all's
this-
well because we have our copies, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, I do wonder about like the digital domain though, with all these like PS Plus and the Steam sales and things like that. Like how the prices just really bottom out on these games really fast.
They do.
Could that be part of the reason why these studios are closing? Because I mean, again, everyone's complaining about. I mean, obviously Sony pays something to these companies for the PS Plus stuff
To be able to do the deals, yeah.
right? But I don't know. It just seems like ever since like the Steam sale has become big practice, it's like studios are all of a sudden going out of business like really fast. I don't know if there's a correlation there, but to my drunken brain, it seems like there might be some traction there.
That's
It's
one of the
weird, too.
things. Go ahead, Chance.
I was gonna say it's weird too, like because you hear about like, well, these games they're gonna go away, like so it like creates a demand immediately because oh man, these servers are gonna be shut down soon. We gotta buy this game, now because it's gonna be gone forever. And
It's
that's
like
another thing about digital games is like when they take it down, like make it unavailable to buy, unless save for a pirated copy, it's gone. You can't. There's no finding it in a pawn shop.
Right.
You're not
And
ever going to find a copy of the game.
We saw an example of that with Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
As soon as that game went off, people were selling their phones for like $1,500 because it had Flappy Bird on it. I don't think anyone bought it, but
Yeah, that's insane. I want to say we had another example of that with was it Kingdoms of Amalur? Maybe one of the download the DLCs for it. You're no longer able to get to download, like to at least try to play on your system. So I've seen them pull like add-on downloads away. So I mean, if you don't get it, you don't get it, and you can't play it. So I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that is kind of crazy because with those price drops, I really don't know how, especially Steam, can afford to get. I know Sony, okay, maybe with a lot of their first-party stuff, okay, so they can drop the price because they're taking the hit themselves, I guess. And which I saw a little report about Sony losing a couple $100 million this year.
I thought it was like 1 point something billion.
It is insane.
Yeah, like 1.7 or something.
But I don't think it's because of the video game division, though. I think it's because of other stuff. But
Well,
you kind of wonder how that will affect the
Yeah.
video game side.
supposedly Blu-rays are just bottoming out. Like no one's buying Blu-rays anymore.
Really?
Except for-
everybody's buying digital still. Like you can get so much, like TV shows and movies and stuff digitally. If people have these just massive ass hard drives, then they can just buy the stuff. It's like, oh, I don't need a Blu-ray. What do I need that for?
Yeah.
I hate having a digital version of a movie and paying $20 for it.
Every movie you buy comes with that little ultraviolet slip that you can plug into voodoo.com or whatever, and hey, you have the movie. So people buy like Amazon Prime, movies on there you can buy for really cheap. It's like, hey,
I don't know, man. I know Dustin did when you double dipped or triple dipped on Star Trek. I know that you probably weren't too happy about it though, right?
When I triple dipped on Star Trek.
You bought the iPad version first or
Oh,
iTunes,
yeah.
then you got the physical, and then
Well, I didn't triple dip. I've only double
it
dipped.
was just double dip, yeah.
I will triple dip if there's ever an Ultimate Edition that has all the bonus features. But I was really pissed off about it was Paramount split up all the bonus features across all the different, like they made them retail exclusives.
Oh, at the different retail exclusives.
Right,
I remember now. Yeah.
That's what I was
sucks.
pissed off about.
So yeah, this digital domain is
It's a
kind of
weird
crazy.
thing.
It is. Because I'm so used to
Yeah.
to having the physical, especially Blu-rays. I like those little sexy Blu-ray
But
discs. I did not
I
know
think.
that those were getting
oh
downgraded.
yeah,
People weren't buying them.
you can
Yep.
go on
Yep.
Amazon and buy like older movies for just a couple bucks.
Wow.
Brand new.
Yeah. But
Insane.
before we move on, Chance kind of, I think, yeah, Chance said it. He kind of touched on something about how he doesn't like buying digital movies for like $20 a pop.
That was
Or was that
me.
you? That
Yeah.
was you? Okay. That's the weird thing about digital too, is like the price of digital games is the same price as the physical copy.
Which is why I will never prefer it.
Right. And that's such a weird thing to me because like for the physical, you have to like print out the label art, you have to make the disc, burn the disc, all this stuff. Like digital should be at least $20 less.
Yeah, I
Easy.
mean that's why it's so hard for me. Even though I don't mind digital games,
Yeah.
I don't. I really don't. But I don't want to have to pay full retail, the same prices I would have to pay for a
Right.
disc.
No, no,
That's
no.
just
Yeah.
stupid. I mean, logic would say, yeah, that's a ripoff.
Which I think, speaking of digital, and this was actually going to be kind of a little topic for tonight, but since we're on it anyways, you could be a gamer in this day and age and really not have to pay hardly anything to play a game. You have to buy a console, say a PS4 or PS3, a PlayStation Plus subscription, but you'd be set on some pretty good quality title games, at least one a month. You'd get stuff at extreme discounts, or if you own a PC.
Yeah.
You can play a bunch of games for free on your PC. You don't need to pay any money at all except for the PC. But
Legally, play games
yeah,
legally.
well, there's still even a lot of free-to-play stuff out there
Well, no, but I'm just
that's
saying
fun
that
to
you could
play.
play a crap ton of games if you pirated it. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm saying, or like emulation.
emulation ROMs.
Infinite
Yeah,
amount of games for free if you're talking that way, but legally, well within
and
free to play.
With Steam sales, Dust, I think you posed a question. What was it in the chat you asked? Has it become a double-edged sword?
Yeah.
Just having all these cheap and free games.
Because
So
I mean, like every time the sale comes around, like you and Alex and some other people are always talking about how you buy like just massive amounts of games. But when you sit back and you think about it, how many of those have you played?
exactly, my Steam library. If I want to bring, I think I'm up to 140 games. And out of the 140 games, I may have beaten 20% of them, 25%. But for one of the big things is, especially a Humble Bundle, they're one of the things that you pay a cheap price. You could pay $1 and you get a bundle of 6 games. So you just get this influx of games for so cheap. So yeah, I have fallen victim and prisoner to Steam sales and sales like that because it's
Mhm.
just you see it and you're like, whoa, it's so cheap. Just like when I go to GameStop and see a $2 PSP game that's complete, it's cheap, so I'm gonna get it for my PSP collection because I like collecting for that system for some weird reason. No matter what's got to be a decent game, but still. But something about that low price tag, man, just really drives some sales for me sometimes. That's why you guys are kind of lucky not having a really souped up computer because if you
That
did,
that's what I was just gonna say.
you might fall victim to it
That's
as
what
well.
keeps me from the Steam sale is that I know that I don't have a PC that'll run 80% of those games, so I just don't do it.
But I know, Dustin, you want to eventually get that PC built, right?
Yeah, but I keep going back and forth because I don't know. Really, it's just like the indie stuff. Like I really want to be able to play Below when it
Yeah.
comes out, and I don't want to buy an Xbox One. But
You know you're
other
gonna need something a little bit better than what you got to play it. So.
yeah.
Or you could
'Cause
just go over to Ernie's, Big
I could
Ernie's.
just go to Ernie's
Yeah.
and just
Okay.
sit in his game room for 3 hours and play it like I played Gone Home. Yep.
There you go. But as far as it being the double-edged sword, it kind of is because it's
Yeah. Well, that's the
even
thing
with the
too. It's like,
PlayStation Plus, like you were saying. I downloaded Remember Me. I got some other stuff downloaded. They had the 99-cent sale. I downloaded about 6 games from there. Haven't played none of them yet, except Street Fighter Cross Tekken for the freebie.
yeah.
I mean, there's just so many games. And Wipeout. I played that when I had that on there digitally.
Yeah, and you bringing up Ernie kind of reminded me of this because he keeps like texting me about all these games that are like free out there, and I'm like, Ernie, stop! It's like I don't need any more games. I mean, especially now that I've turned my PSP into like this Uber system that can play everything.
Oh yes.
And I got a oh shit, what's it called? Not an R4, but the
Ace
the
card?
Ace card.
Ace card.
I have an Ace card for my DS, so now I'm playing all these Japanese games that I missed out on. So yeah, it's like I don't know, I don't really feel the need to, like, the Steam sale has lost its allure because I have all these way to play these retro games that I missed out on. So and that's where my heart kind of more lies anyway. So
I didn't mention it, but actually Xbox Gold, even though their stuff now, and they're starting to step up their game with the free games they're releasing. It used to be old,
oh
like
man,
6-7 year old titles, and you're
yeah,
like, what in the
Halo
world?
3,
We don't want these.
yeah, it's like thanks, yeah, Halo 3, great.
But now they're actually starting to release quality stuff on there too, so it can be a double-edged sword with all that stuff. We have so many games to play, and then they're throwing these free games at us that are great titles. And like we got Mickey Mouse the other day, and I really want to play that, but
That is
we
a
got so much else
badass
to
game, let me
play.
tell you.
All right, let's move on to this next question, though. Discounting the Grub Gun episode, do you guys have a favorite episode of the podcast so far?
I have two, and the first one is going to be the aerodynamish episode because, honest to God, I can't remember half the stuff that happened in that episode. Like, I don't even think I was really coherent by the end. I don't think any of us were coherent by the end of that episode because it was like midnight for us and like 6 a.m. for Arrow by the end of that episode. So honestly, I've kind of wanted to go back and listen to that to see if I'm just like, it seems like it's like a scene out of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they're at their school reunion and they're doing the dance and they think they're doing this amazing like dance number.
Yeah.
And then it shows them how they're really doing it and they're all drunk and like just screaming. I'm assuming, like, because everyone's like, that was a great episode. I'm like, yeah, it was. But I just feel like if I go back and listen to it, it's just going to be me and Arrow going for like 2 hours straight,
That
we were so
game,
tired.
that episode had so many classic moments in it that are just so memorable, especially the "See you next Tuesday" moment. That when I first heard that, listening to that, I was in tears. I could not. I'm honest. I was in tears when I heard it. I had to rewind it a few times, and then later on, when just Arrow out of nowhere just kind of drops it out there again, it caught me so off guard. Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you had a second one.
Yeah, and then the second one will actually be our first episode because it got this entire thing started.
Oh. What about you, Chance?
Well, is it totally like cheesy if I say it was because it was my first episode that I think, like, the one where I was just a guest. I wasn't even, on the show per se. That was just a lot of fun. That really, made my year, because I really looked up to you guys, and not so much anymore. But I'm just kidding. But like, seriously, I did really look up to you guys. So it was just so much fun to come on and talk to you guys. And then my second favorite would be the one where I came on as a permanent co-host. That was a lot of fun too. Permanent doom.
Man,
those are the most memorable for me.
This is a tough one because we've had so many great guests, and I actually really enjoyed just the special where we were sitting around watching the PS4 the Sony conference together. That was a good time.
Yeah,
especially when that when they called out Sony on all this stuff and getting our live reactions from it, or calling out Microsoft.
Yeah.
And then the price announcement, that's always in my mind, remembering that one. Man, I loved hearing Swagman talk about Falcom goodness.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Of course, the Arrow one was great for the time it was there, and listening to that one was great. But, I think I'm going to go with the Return to Mother Base episode, just because I love talking to Alex. Yeah. He's just such a great person just to talk to. He's more than welcome to come on anytime and just talk, and you can just talk about anything with the guy.
It was the episode where you had Bruno on, where you just kind of all of a sudden snuck him on. And I looked down at the chat and I was like, why is Alex in here?
Oh, that too was one of my favorite moments in AGP history. Just because we bring him in thinking he knows what the topic is about. He thought he knew, but we're
He
actually
has
talking
no
about
idea.
something else related to that. He's like, oh, I don't know anything about it.
But you know, like in terms of just good plain fun, though, seriously, the Grub Gun episode was
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
total blast.
Yeah.
They're also good.
Cartridges, man.
I'm not
That dude
discounting
is-
anyone's episodes. I thought they were
No,
all fantastic.
I don't think we've done a bad episode yet. I mean, we've had our technical difficulties, but I think there's always something that kind of shines through. And
Even listening back to the early one with Paige the other day when we were getting iTunes set up, even that one was great. Like all of our stuff was really good. Not to toot our own horns or anything, but
whatever.
and the Aliens Colonial Marines game night video is pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
So I would check that out.
Just because the infinite number of times Ducky goes, I'm dead. I just blew myself up.
Oh man!
Or just all
I
his
can't wait
little
to talk
quotes that
about that
I remember so many little quotes from him through that playthrough. Does anyone else feel like the wolves from Twilight? Just little stuff like that throughout the thing. Oh, Ducky, you're special. We love you.
You're special.
Okay, and the fourth question that person asked was they want to know how do they become a member of the Facebook page. Well, that's really simple, and Chance is going to tell you how to do it.
Oh shit! You go to facebook.com.
There you go.
/ another gaming podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you click like.
Bam.
And you're
That's
there.
all you got to do.
You're there.
Good job, Chance.
And you can set and marvel at my infinite number of posts where I just completely botched the English language due to my iPhone's keyboard.
Oh man.
Me and Chance don't have time to post anything ourselves, but we'll more than gladly edit Dustin's for you.
It's not that I don't have time. It's just that I'm really lazy and I don't do it.
Yeah, he puts all the good stuff on there anyway. So, anyway, speaking of
no one
Facebook
would want to
page,
read what I put on there.
Yeah, the last time I think you tried to put something on there, it said it was a malicious website.
On their Chance.
Oh yeah, see, I remember that because it was like some weird blog
Yeah.
talking about Doom, so I put it on there, but no one cares anyway.
Speaking of which, talking about Doom, did you see CarMax in the news?
What for?
Apparently, how do I put Max? The people that used to own, or they still own id, they are suing Oculus because they said when Carmack left id to go to Oculus, he stole technology and took it with him.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's
dirty man.
That is a legitimate lawsuit.
I don't hate Carmack for leaving id. I certainly wish he would have stayed, but shit, I don't want him to get like in trouble.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. And like Oculus has put out a statement, saying, because I guess Carmack was like really into VR when he was at ZeniMax. Like he wanted to make, I guess like BFG edition was supposed to be built for Oculus.
Really?
But you could tell when they were doing that early cut with it like taped on his head, he was all into it.
Yeah.
Oculus.
I just feel like it's weird that he's so into it, but I don't know. I mean, when really I think about classic id, though, really Romero jumps out at me more than Carmack, just because of his involvement with Doom. Quake is more of a Carmack thing, but Carmack was more of the science type, the science, the brain behind it. And,
you just like the secret floating head that you can shoot.
That's in Doom 2.
Yeah,
I've never made it to that level. I can honestly say, with all honesty, I've never beat Doom 2 ever.
I need to remember that I have the BFG edition because, like, whenever I get into a gaming funk, I can just grab that and throw Doom in and just have a blast.
Yeah, I tell people this a lot too that like don't have the BFG edition. They want to play like classic Doom, but they don't want to play it on the PC. It's like seriously, BFG edition is so cheap now. It's like it's on PS3 and 360. Come on, you have no excuse. Get this game. God, and Doom 3 is pretty awesome too. I mean that's just me.
All right, so we're going to go to the Facebook page now and get some questions from there. We had a good amount on there, so let's go ahead and just go through them. I'm going to work my way from the bottom to the top. Sarah asked what our thoughts on Demon Gaze was, and I think Dustin gave the best answer. Might be a little too early for that one, Sarah, and I don't even own it. Don't know if Chance does.
Nope.
You should look into it, Chance. First person dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it's high on my list. That wife's getting ready to go on a small vacation with her mom this weekend. So, but funds are pretty limited right now.
So you're going to buy it while she's away, while the cat's
well,
away.
I
the mice will
wish,
play.
but I don't know if I'll have the car. So,
but I just got through like the introductory part, and I think was TG Appileus talking about it in a video.
I think he has talked about it. I haven't watched his latest pickup video yet.
I think he
whatever
did.
it is.
Yeah,
Maybe it wasn't a pickup video. I don't know. I know that like Corn Muffin did a video a long time ago about it because obviously he's in Japan, and I think I remember watching his video where he talked about it, and he talked pretty highly of it. So I mean,
it seems like it's going to be really good. It has like a really interesting sort of battle system and everything. But I'm sorry, Sarah, but it's just I'm too early in the game, and Soma Bringer has completely like I'm going to finish out. Yeah.
Now,
so
well, I guess we're going to talk about dungeon crawlers in a little bit. I'll save that.
So Sarah will direct you to Corn Muffin and TG Appileus. So check out their videos.
I think
there's anything there.
Because I remember somebody talking really in depth about the battle system, and it just seems like TG Appileus always talks about things in very intricate detail. So it seems like it's Appileus doing it.
All right, next one, Newell Jador. Everyone in the podcast is in an RPG. What class type would everyone be?
I love this question.
I would be a rogue type class. That would be what I would go for.
Okay.
So either dual wielding some small shankers.
So you'd essentially
fast and agile.
You'd be a melee class then.
Yeah, I'd be like, remember playing Code of Princess together? I'd be like that chick. I'd be all over the place.
Oh yeah,
just flipping everywhere.
I'm telling you, Hell's the best character.
Yeah,
she is.
She's a beast.
All right, so that'd be my class.
Yeah, Chance, you want to go?
I feel like I would be a tank character. Like I don't personally like play a lot of tank characters like when I play RPG, but I think for me personally, if I was, in an RPG, I think I would be a tank. I really do. Like just heavy armor, heavy weapons, mess stuff up.
You should have played Final Fantasy XIV with us because we needed a good tank a couple times because we kept getting noobs. Even I was a noob, but I kind of knew what I was doing. But like these guys are playing tank, they just they wouldn't draw aggro, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. In retrospect, I kind of wish that I would have, just because I feel like if I was going to play that game, really, like right at launch was probably the time to do it.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, is it like picking up some steam on PS4? Like I haven't really heard. I know it just came out for PS4. Like I don't know, not even a month ago, or maybe about a month ago.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Really,
the game's been doing pretty well anyway, so I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just
wish they'd bring out Dragon Quest X.
I'm still not sure that I want to play an MMO. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun, and I think I know for Dustin, the short time he played, it seemed like an easy one to kind of grasp, though, didn't it, Dustin? Get the hang of.
I mean, I had fun with it, and I always give you shit for forcing us to do stuff, but I did have a lot of fun playing it with you, and we'd always have some interesting conversations during that time.
It did create some memorable moments, and like an MMO would, it can create some memorable moments, and the Ifrit fights, they'll live on in infamy. In my head, so. All right, next question.
No, I haven't answered.
Oh, you didn't. I think we all know you're going to be some type of spell class.
Well, I'm going to be kind of a spellcaster, yes.
Yeah.
But when I saw this question on the site, I had to think about it, and I was like, what took me back was remembering how much I enjoyed playing Magic: The Gathering, and what my favorite color was, which was blue. Because I love fucking with people.
Wait, hold the phone.
What?
Chance's wife just liked the podcast page. Oh yeah.
She just liked the photo. She's already a fan of the page.
Oh, I thought she liked the page.
She just liked the photo you uploaded. Somebody uploaded. Dustin uploaded.
Disregard. Continue, Dustin.
Jesus. So when I think about it, and I'm going to use a Final Fantasy 13 term here, but I think I would enjoy being a saboteur.
Ooh.
I think I would enjoy like debuffing and that kind of stuff.
You normally like to buff. You love some haste in your RPGs, though, don't you?
I love some haste, but I think I would just get more of a maniacal sense of fun out of just being like
catch this poison. Yeah.
yeah.
I really love the Imperial class on Etrian Odyssey 4 too.
Cricket. Cricket.
I'm
Cricket.
sorry.
I
thought
haven't played it, so I have no idea.
no one was talking, so because every now and then like it'll just drop out for a second.
Uh-huh.
I thought it just dropped out for a second.
I was waiting for Dustin's response to that.
Me too.
You know, I can't really remember the Imperial class, to be honest.
It's that gigantic mechanical sword, like that has like the elemental attacks and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was very useful in that game.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I like it a lot.
It's been a long. I mean, God, I need to throw in. I don't want to do this because I'm just going to talk about all these games I need to play. I really need to throw in like Etrian Odyssey too. But then I got Demon Gate.
Classic.
Because I don't know if they're ever going to do like an Untold of it.
I'm sure we'll get into this again once we get to the Dungeon Crawler conversation, but it's like so hard for someone who's played Etrian Odyssey 4 and like Untold first to go backwards because there's so many useful things, the control wise in the newer games that aren't present in the older games that make them really hard. But I don't know. That adds to the difficulty and the challenge, I guess. But
well, I got a decent amount into Dark Spire, so I think I can pretty much.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be pretty good then.
I can probably handle it. Yeah. You know what we should really isn't Corn Muffin like a big Dungeon Crawler fan?
Yeah, that's like his thing. Yeah.
We should really probably wait
wait for that one and
yeah, why don't we wait for that one and then have him tell us about all these great Japanese dungeon crawlers that we're missing out on.
Damn, I was looking forward to that part.
Oh, damn it, Chance. We'll do it twice.
Yeah, we can. I'm okay. I'm sure more games will come out before then.
Yeah.
And we can move on to have played Demon Gaze by then.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. We'll do it twice.
Yes!
And then Corn Muffin can tell me how wrong I am for hating Demon or Dark Souls. That's gonna be
95% of the world can tell you.
I know that's gonna be like the going theme for the rest of the year. Just everyone's going. All the guests are gonna come on and tell me how wrong I am for hating it.
I've already forgotten about it, so
I
no skin off my nose. Even though they did show some teases of the next Souls game in work, so
piss off.
It might be the only game coming out for your PS4 next year, so you might need to get it.
I don't think so. I think the development's going to start picking up.
Yeah, they'll pick it up.
But it's weird. It's weird how the development for like the consoles. It's just something we'll talk about maybe later.
Yeah.
How the development for the consoles is like crickets, and then like the Vita and the 3DS are just going insane.
Killing it.
And they said handheld. They said handheld gaming was dead.
They're so wrong.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Well, this is more of a Fabrizio. Can't wait for the new episode. AGP is coming in addiction. I just wanted to read that. So thank you, Fabrizio. That's awesome. All right. We'll skip over all of Aerodynamics' questions because they're not important.
There was one that was actually a legitimate question.
No, I'm just kidding. We're going to read them. So, about that arrow. It's kind of a jerk, isn't he, guys? No. What's your whole...
He's just European. He's not a jerk. He's European.
Now I gotta find the real question.
We just killed half of the listening audience.
If there's any question you want to answer, which question would it be? Okay, the real question. What is your holy grail of collecting? I think we answered this in a really early episode of the show. But what is your holy grail of collecting? Something you really want yourself, but too elusive or expensive at the moment. We all want that gold cart to sell. I know. So the Nintendo World Championships is off the list. You can't pick that one to resell it. One that I'd like to have, but not to resell, was the special edition Resident Evil Code Veronica Sega Dreamcast that were over in Japan only, the limited edition they made. I would love to have one of those consoles. That is the elusive holy grail for me. That purple Dreamcast looking all pretty. Anyone else?
I don't know. Like, I've never really thought about it, I guess. I mean, there's lots of games I'd like to have that are, expensive. The easy thing to say would be like, Panzer Dragoon Saga would be awesome to play.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
I have my doubts, but I'll just go with it.
Maybe I'm just legitimizing it to myself.
Well, it's just like back to like what you were talking about when we were talking about Earthbound. It's like no game that I could ever buy would be worth $300 to me.
Right.
Like that's just me. That's just a saying. It's like I don't think I would ever pay that much money to play
There's no
a
reason.
game.
It's cheaper to buy a Wii U and then just download it.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, it's like I just don't understand why prices are this high. Because especially with Earthbound, because
it's not even a
Earthbound
rare
is not that rare. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of Earthbounds out there. I mean, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, I guess in general, like a holy grail would be a long-term goal for me. Would be to have all of the different ports of Doom and Wolfenstein 3D. I mean, that's a long-term goal.
Are there any really expensive ports of Doom?
The Saturn one is a little bit more expensive. I think you can get
nothing like crazy though, right?
No, I think a complete Saturn copy, like in good shape, get like 30, 40, $50, something like that.
There was no like rare, like collector's big huge PC bundle.
Not that I know of,
thing.
because Doom was kind of all over the place. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, they made that thing to sell.
Or a developer kit or a developer thing. You know that Splatterhouse thing you showed us back in the day? It was like a Splatterhouse, a development kit special edition chance.
I don't remember this.
Oh yeah, thank you. It came with the mask or something.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. But
like, I was wondering if there's maybe Doom creators did something like that. So there you go. You
I'm
get the
sure
Splatterhouse thing.
I'm sure there is stuff like that. Of course, like some sort of like proto, alpha version of the game would be really cool. But I'd like to have all of the console ports. I'd love to have. I still need the Saturn one. I don't have the Game Boy Advance ones, and they're all kind of expensive. It's a weird, like, not extremely expensive, but all in that like $30-$40 range, where it's like I don't want to pay $30-$40 for a game I already have. It's just one of those things.
I was
Like,
watching an
surprisingly-
AVGN episode, on the
right.
32X version of Doom, and he was comparing it to the Super Nintendo one. Why is that thing so much more crap than the Super Nintendo version?
Well, I don't know exactly, because I own the 32X version, but I've never played it because I don't have a 32X.
Yeah.
But I've seen like a lot of comparison videos, and it's like I think it's the other way around. I think the Super Nintendo one is way worse.
Well, from what he was showing, the music was bad in the 32X, so a lot of stuff was bad.
Well, the 32X version has like a smaller screen too. It's like shrunk down.
He said visually the 32X looked better, but at least from what I could see in the video.
Jaguar version doesn't have music at all. Like it's got its game sound effects, but there's no music in it.
That's what I was going to ask you, which one it was that didn't have any music at all.
Yeah, the Jaguar one doesn't have any music, but the Super Nintendo one, like the textures all look really bad because they took out a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of just plain colored walls.
You could tell that in that video, yeah.
Yeah, but they left the music in, and it's okay, but the controls are really laggy. I suppose if it was the first time you've ever played the game, it would be fine. But
I was going to say, I had
the version to that. Ugh.
I had so much fun with those Super Nintendo ports of Wolfenstein and Doom back in the day.
The Wolfenstein one is legit. It's good. I have that one too, and I like it a lot. But yeah, the Super Nintendo Doom is just and it's one of the FX chip games.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like you would think, okay, this is going to be great. No.
There's only so much they could do.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I don't hate it per se, but it's hard. I've never beaten that version. I can't make it that far because the controls are just so bad that I just can't. I can't live.
Awesome. All right, what about you, Dustin?
Holy Grail.
Yep.
It's probably going to be Sega CD Snatcher.
Nice.
Especially after playing my
through it.
my ripped copy. Yeah, I mean, like to have that in my collection would be great, but I don't feel like paying $400-$500 for a game.
Yeah.
Especially one
that was so rare.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's just I don't think they printed very many of them, and it's just that's kind of like everyone's go-to Holy Grail. It's like after you get Panzer Dragoon, it's like what's left? Snatcher, And
is it in English? Is it an American version? Okay, well that's probably why then.
Yeah, it's the only American version. Now,
the only legitimate way to play it.
Well, legal. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like straight up, original disc, original hardware.
Right, but But the funny thing is, I mean, like, there's no difference between the disc that you'd buy in a Sega CD version and my disc that's on a CDR. You know, there's no real difference between those two versions,
Right.
except one has professional printing, but and one's worth $400.
Now, what was the reason you replay? Didn't you play it on the PSP or did you play it on the system?
I played it on the PC because the original copy that I burned didn't work. Like it had a bug in it that would stop the first time you use the transport car.
So yeah, you have all these other ways you can try to play it, like
Right.
from ISO or ROM, but the way to do it would be on the original because you need the gun, right? Make things so much easier.
Oh my god, playing Snatcher with an Xbox 360 controller makes you want to kill everything around you. Because that D-pad is so horrible, and when you do those like the action scenes, you have to use that D-pad to aim because the stick's even worse, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know how I beat it with that 360 D-pad, but I did somehow. And
well, didn't you like tape it?
Yeah, I had to put transport medical tape on the D-pad to give it some traction. Because my finger just slipped all over it. It was now I have a Sega CD version that works, and I can use the Justifier, and I'm not worried about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next question from Danny. Good old Devil May Pie. Chance, what's your beef with Robin Hood Men in Tights?
All right.
Well, we're manly men. We're men in tights.
I have never sat down and watched the whole thing. I will. Full disclosure, I've never watched the whole thing. And two, I'm not real big on spoof movies in general. I don't watch a lot of spoofs.
Let's be honest. It's because Carrie Ewells says he makes fun of Kevin Costner in it by saying he's the Robin Hood that actually talks with a British accent.
Okay, that was number 3. Is why the hell would you make fun of the perfect movie?
No.
Why?
No.
Why would you do this?
No.
I have no beef with it. It's just not my thing. I don't like it.
Patrick Stewart is the king in it at the end.
Well, Sean Connery is the king in the original.
Fuck Sean Connery. He's washed up.
I was going to say, with Men in Tights, you said comedy spoof. When I think of like a comedy spoof, I'm thinking of like the scary movie type stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is above that type of level.
I would agree, but
it's Mel Brooks.
It's still a spoof.
Yeah,
I would put it on the level of like a Dogma. Like, well, Dogma's a better movie in my opinion, but still.
That's interesting. That's interesting coming from you.
Saying that Dogma's better.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people that I know that are of the Christian persuasion have a problem with Dogma. They don't see it for what it really is.
The movie's still hilarious. Can't take that from it.
Yeah.
All right. And his second question, your ideal crossover game. Mine would be Devil May Cry mixed with Bayonetta, which is, what does he mean by crossover? Because those are kind of like the same game. Does he mean he'd like to see those characters in that universe?
Maybe? I guess just so that those two universes interact. I mean, that'd be good because they're so similar. It's kind of, I don't know.
I gotcha. Maybe that's what he means. Like, because I was thinking, what two games would you like to see melded together? So going on, man. See, that totally changes everything. Now that I redid it, well, I'm still gonna say what I was gonna think. I'd like to see, even though we have seen it, and it's called Parasite Eve, but I'd like to see a survival horror type game mixed with an RPG. So say, I'd like to see Dead Space, the original, mixed with Tales of Vesperia type gameplay.
Wow, that'd be weird.
It would be. That's what I want. Something weird like that.
Chance, you go ahead, because I know you already got your answer.
Yeah, I do. We were just talking about this last week, which is why it's funny. I don't know why I just put this together in my brain, but I was watching Metal Jesus 360 Gems video where he was talking about Enslaved Odyssey to the West. And it just really made me want to go back and play that game again after looking at the gameplay in the video that he showed, and and just him talking about it. I was like, man, I really want to play that game again. And I'm currently knee deep in Etrian Odyssey 4. So I'm thinking, wow, how cool would it be to have like a first-person dungeon crawler, a la Etrian Odyssey, in the universe, or in the enslaved world with the enslaved characters and storyline? Like, I just feel like it would work. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like trying to, like, when Monkey is trying to sneak around the mechs, like in Enslaved, and I'm in a section in Etrian Odyssey where you're doing the same thing. You're trying to maneuver around these robots to not die, and I don't know, it just would be really cool. Just because I love the Enslaved story and just the setting, the world of the game, and I just feel like a first person dungeon crawler in the style of Etrian Odyssey would work like that.
Oh, cool. You said his Hidden Gems video. I tried to hold back my laugh there. I'm sorry.
Oh, Metal Jesus?
MJR, if you're listening, which you're probably not, give us some games we don't know about, man. Give us some hidden gems in your video.
No, you don't understand is every game is a hidden gem. He's literally going to get to the entire library eventually.
I love your videos, man, but give us some hidden gems.
I think he's just using the term really broadly, and maybe and maybe he shouldn't, but I get what he's saying, because I don't know. It's not like he's saying that, the most popular AAA games are hidden gems. He is picking games that, for the most part, aren't really, praised by the masses. And I think we as the YouTube community are really kind of desensitized to what is truly a hidden game, because we kind of know about a lot of games because we watch each other talk about different games.
That's why I think it's tough to actually make those kind of videos.
That's what I'm saying.
You're kind of talking to an audience that knows it all already.
But I'm going to say that the All Gen Gamers and Metal Jesus have an audience that probably doesn't know about all this stuff. So when he says hidden gems, I just feel like he's not really talking to we who are in this community for the long haul. He's more like the passerby. Oh, hey, there's a video about some 360 games I might want to play.
Well, now that the AGG Defense Forces came out, how about you go ahead?
I don't even listen. I don't even listen to the AGG thing.
I'm just messing with you, man.
I'm just trying to give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
Hey, you did a good job of doing it, so you're totally correct.
If anyone was the AGG holdout, it was me. I think I was the longest. If I had to pick something, and this is going to be kind of a weird thing because it's very recent, but it just kind of popped into my head. Playing Child of Light. I would like to see that mixed with Metroid. A Metroid RPG like
wow, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Or even that battle system mixed with Dead Space. Man, now you're kicking into it, man. I'm liking it. Good job.
Coming alive here.
Nice. I'll give you the title with that one. I think you got us. That was a good idea.
I know actually about zero about Child of Light. I've not watched a single video about it. I have no idea what it's about.
It's a side-scrolling RPG with Grandia's battle system.
And see, I don't know anything about Grandia either.
So from a game, we'll talk about this when games I've been playing. Steve and I will talk about it. But
okay, I'll wait then.
Yeah.
Last question. This is, I guess, primarily to Dustin, even though I played through a good chunk of the game. How does Lost Odyssey, this is from Michael Yanachito, hope I said that right, I'm sorry. How does Lost Odyssey compare to your favorite Final Fantasy games, or even enjoyment of Xenoblade?
Not even close. I mean, it's true. I mean, nothing is ever going to touch Final Fantasy VI. From my standpoint, at looking at RPGs, what I want out of an RPG, Final Fantasy VI is perfection.
You said Final Fantasy games, like how would it fit into the...
I'm not going to go through the entire series.
Oh yeah, would you say...
I would say up till Final Fantasy up to and including Final Fantasy IX, not so much. I would say Final Fantasy X, I would probably have to replay Final Fantasy X, but Final Fantasy X might edge out Lost Odyssey. But everything after Final Fantasy X, Lost Odyssey beats. Lost Odyssey is what I wished Final Fantasy XI was.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
But it could hold true to saying it could have been named a Final Fantasy game, though. Still,
it could. Right? I mean, you play that game and it feels exactly. It feels like you pick up right where Final Fantasy X left off. Like there was no Final Fantasy 11 online. There's no Final Fantasy 12 with its craziness. It's not exactly like Final Fantasy 10 though, Chance. It kind of goes back to it kind of goes back to the PlayStation era's turn-based battles.
I'm cutting you off.
What?
You said Final Fantasy 12 craziness. Did you play and beat through that or no?
I got a good portion into it, and then I kind of lost interest. I want to go back to it and play it.
That's what I want. After beating Xenoblade, I want to go back to that game.
Yeah, I do too, because I think I will appreciate it a lot more after. I mean, I appreciated the hell out of Infinite Undiscovery after playing Xenoblade. I was like, oh my god, this game that got terrible reviews, I actually really kind of enjoy. So, I really kind of want to go back and play Final Fantasy 12 as well. But in terms of Xenoblade, I'm sorry, the level of polish and perfection that Xenoblade, the only thing that the things with Xenoblade is the quibbles are far and few. There's a lot of quibbles with Lost Odyssey. You can quibble the frame rate, the character models, the voice acting. I mean, there's a lot of things you can quibble about, but for modern day gaming, I think Xenoblade's pretty perfect. So, in terms of my favorite Final Fantasy and Xenoblade, nowhere even close. And I know a lot of people hold Lost Odyssey in extremely high regard. And I think out of the modern day RPGs, it's definitely up there, but I don't think it doesn't take the cake for me.
For me, from when I played through it, which I got up to Disc 3, it is a great traditional style RPG. I think I'm in agreement with you, Dustin. It wouldn't rank as highly as some other of the Final Fantasy games for what I played from the few that I've beaten. I wouldn't even put it up there for me because I love the 13 series so much, and not from more of a story point, but more of a gameplay point.
Yeah.
The Lost Odyssey, since it's so traditional, it does feel really slow sometimes playing through the combat. And even with the 13 series, I liked how I kept constantly felt like I was doing something. I was more involved with the game and the combat system. But still a great game from what I played. But I think I'd be in agreement with Dustin on it.
It kind of did feel like going home in a way because it plays very traditional to like PS1 era RPGs, which is a good and a bad thing depending on your point of view.
All right, and since
Chance, did you ever play Lost Odyssey?
No, and especially with you guys talking about it lately a lot, it's made me really kind of want to try it. But I got so many games already, RPGs that I'm currently playing. It's just like, God, I just need to finish them.
You know what I appreciate about it, Chance, which you might too. I know a lot of people harp about exploration in RPGs. I mean, this one has the sidetracks and stuff, but for the most part, you kind of know where to go. It seems pretty linear.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Which I was going to say. I was going to say, Simon Control. I'm pausing the recording, and I'm going to throw him in bed real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll pick back up. All right, everyone, we're back after a quick break, and we're going to talk about first-person dungeon crawlers now, if I'm correct. You two being a bigger fan than me so far in my experience with them, I want to come at this. Dustin thought maybe he wants us to come at them trying to sell first-person dungeon crawlers to me. No, not really, because I've experienced them. I know what they're about. I just love hearing about it though, and hear other people's experience. See if maybe I'm just missing something, or if I'm not doing something right. So I guess in a way you are trying to sell me, Dustin. That's the definition of trying to sell me. But Unchained Blades, as I mentioned many times before, I was really enjoying that one. I enjoyed the first-person dungeon aspect, crawling of it, and it wasn't too much gameplay stuff, because gameplay, it's pretty much a turn-based RPG. I like it like that.
Yeah.
It was other little things with it that people kind of say are staples in dungeon crawlers, and that's the actual dungeon crawling, and it being kind of tedious. I know in Unchained Blades, I just wished I had more fast travel option. It just seemed like it'd be so much easier if I could just fast travel to certain warp points or something, and that just is not present in that game really. That's something that people are like, kind of how I am with Dark Souls, and if you're just not into it, it's just not your thing.
Yeah,
because that's not a thing that's with it.
That's the most interesting thing I think has been said tonight. That you found the first person dungeon crawler is tedious because I just eat them up, right?
Yeah,
but
you and Chance both you guys love them so.
But for me, Dark Souls was Dark Souls 2 was the most tedious game I have ever played in my life. And it's just so funny how we're flipped on those two genres.
So I guess the first thing, like for you guys, if no one knows first person dungeon crawler, give a brief overview what they are. They don't know, and what is your draw to them? What really wraps you into wanting to play those type of RPGs? Go ahead, Chance.
Well, I don't know that I could necessarily define first-person dungeon crawler, other than it's an RPG, and your vantage point, it's like you're looking through your own eyes, first person, just like a first-person shooter, which is why I think I like them so well, because of how much I enjoy first-person shooters. So I enjoy that vantage, of looking through my own eyes. And I also really enjoy turn-based RPGs. And especially with Etrian Odyssey, I just feel like I have the most experience with Etrian Odyssey, of all the other first-person dungeon crawlers I've played. So that's why I keep referencing it. But with the Etrian Odyssey games, I feel like, I don't know, that I'm accomplishing more with like random battles, as you're gathering materials and things like that after every battle, instead of money or items. You're gaining materials, and then you go back to the central town and sell these materials, for money. In which case you get money for them, but also you get the opportunity to purchase the weapons or armor or items that were created from these materials that you brought in. So I just feel like the whole system is so rewarding, and it's so much fun to go out there and fight all the different kinds of enemies and gather as many different kinds of materials as you can, so you can get that better equipment. I just feel like, and that's similar to, like, I think there's the games are like that too, aren't they? Like where you just constantly looking for that next best piece of equipment.
Which games? I didn't you cut off.
Souls, like the Dark Souls and stuff.
Actually, no, you're not really. It's not really a big.
You're not finding equipment is not a big part of the game.
Not really. When I got my armor at the beginning, I kept it through the whole thing.
Okay, but the opportunity is there.
Upgrading as far leveling up the armor and stuff you have is a big thing.
Okay,
like getting your sword to the next level and stuff. That's a pretty big deal.
That's not really the same at all then. Except for in Etrian Odyssey 4, I guess you do have there is a system where you can forge the weapons to give them different abilities and things like that to make them stronger. Similar to like a materia system almost.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as deep as materia, but definitely similar. Like different weapons are slotted, and you can add an effect by forging it with a certain kind of hammer. But that's unique to Etrian Odyssey 4. But yeah, it's just the overall experience, and it's just, especially with the Etrian Odyssey games, the soundtrack is just amazing, and it's just so peaceful to play, even with the intense combat. Like it's just a great experience all around, and I just really like it.
Dustin.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, if you're not too busy liking Greg's photos on Facebook.
Obviously, you're looking too, so let's not split hairs here, okay?
I have a thing up in case we get a last second question is all.
I got you. All business over there.
Exactly.
The thing with first-person dungeon crawlers for me is it reminds me a lot of playing Dungeons and Dragons. Because when you play Dungeons and Dragons, like each dungeon is kind of I don't want to say a slog, but you kind of explore a little bit, then you have to kind of go back and heal up a little bit, and then explore a little bit more. And then it takes that experience of playing Dungeons and Dragons and kind of mixes it with Dragon Quest, which, of course, is my favorite series. It just keeps reminding me of playing old school Dragon Quest games, and especially the Etrian Odyssey games. I don't know why. They really hit a nerve with me, and the whole thing about drawing your own maps and just the sense of exploration and just pushing just a little bit further, and that sort of risk reward of pushing just a little bit further versus getting wiped out is kind of an addictive thing. I didn't
even touch on the maps. That's probably my favorite aspect of the game. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like I have to walk on every single square
I know.
of the map so I can fill it in perfectly. There's just such an addictiveness to filling in that map.
And even the ones with auto maps, I still do that with. I think, Steven, you and I were talking about it when we played Unchained Blades, like almost a year and a half ago, talking about how, you know, it was just we had to finish every map that we went into.
Yeah, you wanted to make sure you filled in every square, make sure you filled out that whole map of that floor. It was just kind of an addictive thing, at least in that game for me.
Yeah. And with Etrian Odyssey too, like if like exploring all of the different walls and things often yields like secret passages and things too, which will then in turn into loot. And I think that's another part I really enjoy about just dungeon crawlers in general. It's not just first person dungeon crawlers, but like a game that you can get behind, like a Diablo 3, where just exploring every inch of the map to get everything that you could possibly find.
And that's where I want to try, because when I first think of dungeon crawlers, that's what pops to my mind. The third person view, kind of with the Diablo 3 Torchlight style, and that's the dungeon crawler I'm into. Those are the ones that I love. There's some good ones that I've played, like Diablo 3 Torchlight. There's some bad ones, like that 3DS game me and Dustin were playing.
Heroes of Ruin.
Heroes of Ruin, yes. But that's when I first diving into first-person dungeon crawlers, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be like a dungeon crawler, like a Diablo, just first-person view. So I thought that would be really cool. And I don't know what I just can't pinpoint on it. I don't know if I like walking through the first-person view, because I think you could say Shin Megami Tensei 4, if you slap that into a first-person view mode, it'd pretty much be a first-person dungeon crawler, would it not be?
Yeah, I mean,
the way that game's laid out.
Well, the thing of it is like I'm playing. I was playing. I kind of put it aside. The first Shin Megami Tensei on the iPad, and it is a first-person dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
And I think Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Nocturne is the same way, which is Shin Megami Tensei 3. I think it's a third person as well, but people don't really, from what I get, people don't really regard that one very well. But I would say if you want to dip your toes in a first-person dungeon crawler type of thing, either get Shin Megami Tensei 4 because it kind of eases you more into it because it's not first person, or Etrian Odyssey, Untold Millennium Girl. I think those are the two entry points if you've never played.
Jumped the gun on a question I was going to ask you.
Oh,
so I'll cut you off for a second there, because I was going to say Shin Megami Tensei 4. I was really enjoying that game. It's another one. Again, somehow it got on the backlog, but I enjoyed it. And it's not that the battles are taking place in first-person view, because that's pretty cool, having your enemy right there in front of you attacking. I know they're not as visually pretty most of the time when it's that type of system. I think it was just a simple fact of having my character be zoomed out, feeling more third-person. And Shin Megami Tensei 4 did have... I could warp around areas. I was like, hey, I appreciate that. It made my traveling a lot easier. So I guess it's just that simple fact of just give me a quick travel option, and if there is a dungeon crawler game like that, I would give it a try.
Millennium Girl.
Yeah, and Etrian Odyssey 4 too. There's like a bunch of different items that you can get to make that fast travel. You can have like items that will take you all the way back to town, an item that will take you back to the nearest staircase, an item that will take you back to the entrance of the dungeon. And they're all in Etrian Odyssey 4. And then Untold is even better, because you can warp to each individual staircase on each individual floor.
Well, Untold was
a lot of fast travel.
Well, with those two games, which I'll hit on Untold first, that's the one I played, it was just boring me. I don't know, just something... I wasn't too far in. I think I put 12 hours into it. I know it has a story mode, but it still kind of seemed like there was no story. And with an RPG, I want a story. You gotta give me a good story. And I think throughout the Etrian series, isn't it pretty much the lackluster part of the games is the story?
Yeah, it's more about the dungeon crawling and the exploring.
Yeah.
You say that, though, but I think that the story in Etrian Odyssey 4 is really good.
Well, yeah, but that's because, I mean, like, you've played the other Etrian Odysseys. Would you say that they had a good story? Would you say 3 had a good story?
Untold did. 3, no.
I don't count Untold because they added a story to Etrian Odyssey 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Etrian
But-
Odyssey 4 is when they first started to introduce like that idea of a story, really.
And I really believe though, like I'm not even finished with the game, but I think the story in 4 is better than Untold. Like it is, I'm really liking it, but that's just me.
I like that Untold like gave you like set characters.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in the like the cutscenes, even though they were really few and far between,
Right.
were really nice. Like, and each character had a voice. Like, it was even though they didn't talk a whole lot like throughout the game, but like you could tell. Like,
They just grunt.
yeah, yeah, but it's still, you know, they had a voice, and it's like, and you really felt for the characters in more like a standard RPG.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate in like first person dungeon crawlers how even a game like Unchained Blades kind of mixed things up with you had 3 different screens sometimes worth of enemies to fight on. So some like variety of how to mix up some encounters. But
I think I
made for
said,
some
like,
challenging moments.
Yeah.
I would say
said-
first person dungeon crawlers are one of the more challenging RPGs out there.
Oh, definitely.
And I won't cut you off this time, Dustin. Go ahead.
Oh, you talking about like the 3 screens of enemies. I always thought like, you know, when I was playing Dragon Warrior back in the day, I always thought that would be like the natural progression for Dragon Warrior was to have like multiple screens of enemies. I don't think they ever did it though. I can't remember if they did it like in Swords or not. No, they didn't do it in Swords. But
So
I
you
was thought-
guys have I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
I was gonna say you guys have played some of these first person dungeon crawlers, so what are some of your other ones that, you know, kind of stick out to you that you at least got a chance to play?
Well, the weird thing about the games are, whenever I play them, I always find myself comparing them to Etrian Odyssey because I always feel like Etrian Odyssey is just like it just feels like the most streamlined to me. Like every other first person dungeon crawler really tries to. It's one of those RPG things that I hate, and I talk about in my Lost Odyssey video where it's like they always have to reinvent the wheel. They have to make some extremely convoluted system. And it doesn't need that. And I think Etrian Odyssey shows that you really don't need all these convoluted leveling and battle systems. And, like, I don't know, I've played both Class of Heroes games. And I need to go back to the first one and keep trying because I for some reason I just can't get into it. Like, it just feels too archaic. And that's one of the problems with the series. The genre is I feel like sometimes they go a little too old school, and I think
how can you differentiate from? It seems like they're all the same type of game though. So what would make one more old school?
Not having the quick travel stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, harder.
I mean, like you play like the Dark Spire compared to Etrian Odyssey Untold. And they're night and day. Like, if you want, I mean, everyone talks about Dark Souls being like a hard game. Maybe you want a hard game, you put on the Dark Spire and you play that. That is old school. Like, we're gonna kick your ass and we don't care. But I don't know. It always seems like in a lot of these first-person dungeon crawlers, you're always at an extreme disadvantage. Like, the enemies are just really powerful. But I don't know. Etrian Odyssey just always felt really streamlined, whereas like other ones, although Demon Gaze does feel pretty streamlined from what I played of it a little bit. And Unchained Blades is another one of the great ones. I would say if you want to get into the genre, Unchained Blades is a great one to start with as well.
Now, what about really old school? Wasn't Phantasy Stars first person when you get into the dungeons?
When you get into a dungeon, yeah.
So, how would you compare it to those back then? Do those still hold up, or no?
You have to either have a map or you have to draw a map in Phantasy Star, or you're just going to get lost. I mean, it's rough because all the walls look the same, and there's no real differentiating things in the dungeons. So you have to draw maps in those games.
Well, I hear so many people rave about that series. Chance, has it been tempting to want to give that a try on the Gems collection?
I've played the first Phantasy Star quite a bit. I made it, I would say, probably about halfway through on emulation, and then I kind of just stopped playing it and never went back. I'm to the point now where I probably need to restart in order to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. But I really like games that, even if it's not a first-person dungeon crawler, it kind of implements like different things that harken back to, like the classic Wizardry series, or like even games like Hexen and Heretic, where they were pretty much first-person shooters to a degree, but it still had that RPG feel to it almost. Not so much Heretic, more Hexen, because it was quite a bit harder. But I don't know. I really like in the Ultima 3 on NES. It's a kind of a top-down view for the overworld, and then when you go into combat, it's like almost like a strategy RPG. It pretty much is strategy RPG. And then when you get into the dungeons, it's a first-person dungeon crawler. So it's really kind of a complex game, but I just like that that variety, I guess. And I also like in the Phantasy Star games and in like the first few Dragon Quest games, like that's the way the combat is too. It's kind of this first, from your own eyes kind of a thing. Like, and I really liked Vey for the same reason. I just like that style of combat for some reason.
I didn't know Vey. So Vey is a first person as well.
It's been a little while. It's either first person or like you're just looking at the back of your character's heads. It might actually be like that. Like, so pretty much like pretty similar. You see the enemy and then you see yourself, you still like from a third person, perspective, but more or less the same.
It is a genre that I'm going to give another try, definitely. And it's a matter of playing something again that I already have, or the Vita is just getting, every time an RPG was getting announced this year, I was getting excited, and then I look up gameplay and it's like, oh, first person dungeon crawler again. It seemed like everything was a first person dungeon crawler, so I think I'm going to snatch one on the Vita. I'm just going to wait for all the verdicts to come in to see what's going to be the most highly recommended one of this year to come out for it.
Well, it's obviously a more popular genre in Japan. I'm glad that it's kind of coming into its own in the States. But yeah, I would definitely say that Etrian Odyssey, at least the 2 3DS games, are really going to be like a good kind of place to stick your toes in, because they are so streamlined. But like, you've played Unchained Blades here. I actually never played that one, but I'd really like to play that one too. And I don't see, even though I've never played Unchained Blades, I don't see how you can enjoy that one and not enjoy Etrian Odyssey. Like, I don't get what
it was a story more, I guess, in Unchained Blades.
Okay.
I was really
that makes sense.
Unchained Blades has a bit more story in it.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, that would definitely make a difference then, because it's pretty bare in Etrian Odyssey. But I don't know. I don't mind that. I enjoy the gameplay so much that I don't mind that the story is small or not a big factor.
And I guess since you just hinted on their Chance, and then Dustin, you mentioned earlier, I was gonna say, so what game should someone dip their toes in first? So I guess Etrian Odyssey, Millennium Girl is the one.
I would say so. Either that or Shin Megami Tensei 4. I mean, Shin Megami Tensei 4 is not a first person dungeon crawler, but there's so many similarities between the two games that it'll ease you into that genre a bit better.
Chance, you think Millennium Girl, that'd be the one?
Yeah, Millennium Girl is definitely probably a better starter game, but Etrian Odyssey 4 is definitely a bigger game, and the gameplay is really similar. But yeah, the newer elements in Untold are probably more accepting to new players. So,
I like the multiple dungeons in 4 because it feels the game feels bigger. Even if it's not, it just feels bigger because you're exploring multiple dungeons instead of just like different levels of the same dungeon like you are in Millennium Girl. Except when you go to like the different areas, but what were they called? Like the
Stratums?
Well, there's the different stratums, but then you also go to like the place where like all the technology's at.
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it was called either, but it's just like it's like a separate building. Like you go like to this. It's like a big hangar almost.
Yeah.
And there was it wasn't even different levels in that. It was just different areas like in the same place.
Yeah.
Like, but it was so run down, like you couldn't get through the walls and stuff, so you had to like warp in.
Actually, thinking back on Millennium Girl, I can actually see your enslaved Etrian Odyssey to the west.
Yes,
I can kind of see it now. Yeah.
Well, especially like in Stratum, where you're in an office building and like you're like crossing a beam between two buildings. It's like that is so perfect, like for that. Okay, I'm done.
Well, that kind of helps segue into the next topic here. The question I was going to ask, which is how many dungeon crawlers did come out on the Vita this year already? Is Conception a first-person one,
No.
or is that one of the that was one of those novel type games, correct?
No, it's more of I think it's more of a traditional one. Of course, mine is sitting on the shelf, still sealed. But looking on the back and looking at gameplay, I think it's more of a normal like third-person RPG.
So
I
how
thought it
did
was first-person dungeon crawler? I downloaded the demo, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, well, let me look. Maybe it is a
I could be totally wrong.
I could be
But
totally
I
wrong.
thought it was.
Out of the two games, Demon Gaze looked more interesting. I'm looking at Battle here, and like the characters are attacking, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. So Demon Gaze, we got that on the Vita. Deception, is that first person?
No, that is something completely different. That's not even an RPG.
That's that trap game, right?
That's the trap game.
I wanted to play that, and I went when I was at GameStop the other day and struggling to find 3 games for the buy 2 get 1. I wanted to get. I was gonna get that game, but they didn't have it. They all sold out. So good, get it. All right. So was it just Demon Gaze then? I felt like there was others that came out.
I'm looking at my Vita collection right now, and if there is some other ones that have been released, I think here's the thing, because we've all been watching Corn Muffin.
Yeah.
And I think we're just assuming that there's all these first-person dungeon crawlers when really they haven't been brought over here yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
If anything, I think the PSP
not here.
Probably has a ton. Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted. I'm here. Y'all here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I kind of wanted to talk about the Vita and how it does seem like, man, it is like the 3DS last year and 3DS is continuing this year.
Yeah.
The Vita is really starting to gain some steam here and get some legs on it.
I'm looking at my Vita collection right now, and it's a pretty good collection. I'm not going to lie. The Vita has, I'm going to say it right here, right now, the Vita has games. If you are looking, I got a little bit of everything. I got, first-person dungeon crawler. I got RPGs. I got a visual novel. I got a racing game. I got a puzzle game. I got some shitty Silent Hill game that's not even really a Silent Hill game. Although, actually, I was watching Corn Muffin's Vita video, and he says if you approach this the right way, it's actually a pretty fun game. So.
And exactly, and that was one of the ones on my list if I could find under the $20.
Yeah, because we could totally, what we could do? We could totally like co-op this. Is it online?
We could totally co-op it. Yes, it is online co-op.
Yeah, we get
up to 4 players.
We can online co-op that shit, and Chance can get it too, and we could post the video. Oh my god!
But guess what? No stock. That was what I was to say.
That's what
There's some good games for the Vita, but the shelf for the Vita at my GameStops, it's one of just a little middle of the room kiosks.
I have a sealed PAL Touch My Katamari from.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we have Chance, who is a brand new Vita owner, and I know he's still probably giddy about it.
Yes.
And you get to start enjoying all the great stuff the Vita has. But there's
thankful,
just so much coming out for that system.
I'm thankful that that I have a PS Plus subscription right now, and that I had been smart enough to download the games preemptively, just on the for getting a Vita in the future, and then Ducky surprises the heck out of me, and like tells my wife about it, and she buys it behind my back and surprises me with it. So it's just so awesome to have the system, and I've been really enjoying the system, even though I haven't been playing like a lot of stuff on it because I haven't bought anything for it yet.
Yeah.
But even the free PS Plus games are awesome. They're a lot of fun. So I'm glad.
On PlayStation Plus alone, you get Gravity Rush, Wipeout, Uncharted, Street Fighter. So I mean, like we were talking about earlier, in free games, he's already set for a variety of games on his new console.
Yep.
One of the
one I've
best
been
things.
playing the most though is probably the one I don't hear anybody talking about it. It's a PS Plus game called Stealth Inc. A Clone in the Dark.
Oh no! Ernie loves that game. He's trying to get that so bad.
It is amazing. It is a lot of fun.
I saw it was free.
I think I downloaded it on my I downloaded it on the PS3 or on the Vita. I can't remember which.
It's crossplay too. So like if you have it on both systems, you sync to cloud and you can play it on either one. Like pick up right where you left off. So if you're playing on your PS3 and you sync to cloud, you can pick your Vita up and play it right there. It is so much fun.
My Vita memory card is already full for the 2 that I have, and I still don't have everything on there. That's how much stuff I have wanting to play on my Vita. Just with the access to all the PlayStation Plus titles and all the access to the PS1 titles.
That's what I was going to say.
Oof.
That's one of the best reasons to own a Vita, because you can get all these great PS1 RPGs that would literally break the bank to get a physical copy, and you have it portable.
And you can get them all almost for the price of some of those individually.
Yes.
It's crazy.
So, Chance, my advice to you is to spare no expense at buying Vita memory.
Yeah, I really need to save up, because I was just going to say earlier, I'm jealous as shit of Danny's 32 gig card.
I ordered my Mario Golf. So I got
what I could do with a 32 gig Vita card would just be amazing.
So can you have 2 cards tied to the same account?
I've downloaded stuff on both cards.
Okay.
I never understood that, or what someone was meaning by that question.
Yeah. So. I seem to remember somebody questioning that back in the day.
Works fine now.
Makes sense. It's a legitimate worry, I guess, that you can't have 2 memory cards on a system.
I guess because if it's they both have. I could see if I I got these games on my memory card. Chance, put it in yours. I guess
I was going to say I don't suppose you could do that. I don't suppose I could take my memory card and put it in somebody else's Vita.
Yeah.
Unless you wiped out the Vita and sign into your own PSN on it or something.
Probably. I'm not sure.
I guess that would make sense.
But that is how I am going to play Grandia this summer. After playing Child of Light, I will be playing it on my Vita because it just makes sense. I'm going to play it on there. Is there anything jumping out to you, though, this year coming out on the Vita that you're going to want to get? I know we've got a slew of RPGs this first half. I can't even remember what's coming out the second half.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't into it.
I'm really bad about paying attention to that kind of stuff. I kind of pick it up as it
worse at it. Yeah. The only game I remember later on this year I want is Destiny and X if it comes out. So I'm getting bad at it too. I just know that I'm just so happy that console is picking up steam.
Whatever happened to second chapter? Is it out? No, it's not out, is it? Trails in the Sky second chapter?
Because they did say spring, right?
No, originally it was winter, and it's it's definitely spring now. What's going on?
Oh, wow.
I'll have to look into it. Maybe I just missed it.
I don't think it's out yet because I think we would have saw a review on it.
We probably would have.
I'm typing it now. I don't care if you hear any clicks.
And it's off topic here. Not really off topic. Just RPG. I don't care. It's not the popular opinion in our little corner of YouTube or the interwebs, but I watched the new Call of Duty trailer and I think it looks amazing. But that's me.
I was wondering about that because I saw a soldier wearing this body armor, and I was like, God, they are just stealing straight from Elysium right now.
Yeah, and it's got Kevin Spacey in it, and I think it looks amazing. I really hope, and this once again was not the popular thing, but I really hope that this game really has a really good, legitimate first one player campaign. I really do hope that it is really good and kind of makes people think, okay, this is not just about the multiplayer. This is legitimate, semi sci-fi first person shooter. That's I think what it looks like what they're going for. But obviously, it could, totally just be a smokescreen for another generic Call of Duty game. But I hope not. I mean, that's just me, though.
See, you're saying you hope it does well. I'm kind of going the opposite, just because. And I like playing the Call of Duty games, but I'm sick of them coming out every year.
I would agree.
I wish they would get used to the fact that let it marinate a little bit, and then people will.
This is a new
it
company
more.
making it. I'm pretty sure this is Sledgehammer. They haven't made one before.
It's their second one. They made
which
3.
one? They made Call
Modern
of
Warfare
Duty 3.
3.
Oh, Modern Warfare 3. Okay, I didn't know that.
And that one was crap to me. So
Well, maybe this one won't be.
it's like hopefully do better. But
I
it seems like they've all
don't
been
totally
going.
understand also why some people hope that a game does badly. Like that just seems really.
I want it to do bad, so they will do better in the future.
But that doesn't make sense.
It does, because they'll learn that instead of us just working on a game for a year, let's work on it for 3 years and make it great instead of good. I mean, why keep pumping it out every year?
Because people haven't stopped buying it.
Well, that's the thing too, though, Chance. Like people didn't stop buying like Guitar Hero until all of a sudden the bubble burst. So it's like, yeah,
maybe the bubble will burst, but I can honestly say I enjoy the games. Like,
yeah.
I don't mind playing them, even because I don't spend a lot of time with the multiplayer, so which seems to be the big selling point.
Yeah.
But
trust me, living above the people that I do in the apartment building, I know that Call of Duty is a big, multiplayer is a big selling point. I'm sitting here watching like a TV show, and all of a sudden I hear all this machine gun fire from the, apartment below me.
That poor kid.
That poor kid.
Yep. Anyways, won't even get into that. Yes, Call of Duty's breaking up homes, Chance. It's breaking up homes. That's why we can't have it.
It's a game I'm looking forward to. And Wolfenstein New Order. And other than that, I don't know of any right off the top of my head.
I already had. Look, I'm not even a first-person shooter person, but I have New Order pre-ordered right now.
Yeah, I can't even say that. I haven't pre-ordered it yet.
And that is, I think you said in last episode, Dustin, that's every console, right? Not just...
No, not the Wii U.
Well, that's not a console. What are you talking about?
Playing Child of Light, it's making me really want to throw in this Warriors Orochi, especially Greg talking about the Warriors and the Dynasty, the Dynasty Warriors, and that's so much. I really want to throw that in.
Well, have we heard whether or not like the Hyrule Warriors was like a legitimate thing that's going to happen?
It's a legitimate thing, but I don't know whenever it's going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking, since we're on the Wii U, can someone explain this? I saw people talking about this promotion they got going on for Mario Kart 8 of you get a free game or something.
Yeah.
What is it? Because I have no idea about it. Where do I need to go pre-order to get this free game?
The free game, let's not get too excited about it here because it's probably something you already own or something you've already passed over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard some people saying they're getting Wii U Party because it's the only thing left.
Yeah. So take that for what it is.
All right. Or you can get free gas money, I heard somewhere. They give you $10 in gas.
That's Best Buy, yeah.
Sweet.
That's probably your best bet to get the free gas. I think like the only
buy.
Yeah, your Best Buy. Wow. The only game that looked appealing on that list, because it's like one of them's Wind Waker. So if you don't have Wind Waker, that's
I don't yet. Yeah, I don't have Wind Waker yet.
But here's the thing: they're digital.
True.
So
but it's free.
But it's free, and you probably already own Wind Waker on the GameCube, right?
True.
So do you really need the Wii U? You know what I mean?
I do want the physical one, yes.
Well, what is it that you have to pre-order?
Mario Kart 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the only one that seemed like worthwhile to me is Pikmin 3, and I don't even really like Pikmin, so.
Ooh.
Yeah,
now that's intriguing because I do want to play that.
Yeah, so you can get that one.
We were just talking about yesterday with how Pikmin, I can't believe that. Pikmin 1 and 2, like the Wii prices on that thing have skyrocketed like crazy.
Yeah.
So Pikmin must be a pretty popular thing. But I'm looking forward to some Mario Kart 8 because Nintendo, I know you didn't want to talk about Nintendo, Dustin, but they had their Nintendo Directs while we were away for Mario Kart and Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm an excited Nintendo fan, man, because this stuff is looking fantastic.
You see, and that's the thing. Like, I've I've had videos where I talk about like Nintendo's over reliance on Mario Kart, but I got to admit, like the new Mario Kart looks like pure sex, man. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's one of the ones where, man, I'm so sad that Chance won't be able to play with us on the game night because it's just going to be such a pretty,
On
wonderful
one
game.
hand, I'm bummed that I won't be able to play, but I'm sure it's fun. I'm just not that interested, and I don't know why. I'm just not. I mean,
Yeah.
I think
it's one of those
it's
things.
one of those great games when you're with a group of people. It's always funner when you're playing with your buddies, playing a kart racing game.
Yeah. And I like kart racing games a lot. I don't know. I think it's just, of course, the expense right now of getting it for me would mean I have to get a Wii U and the game. So it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't sound cool at all. So I think that's probably a lot of it.
Hey, cheapest way to get Earthbound.
Yeah, there you go. Buy a Wii U.
Buy a Wii
Oh,
Which,
man.
personally, this is just, my opinion. We'll probably get dislikes on this video. I think that game is extremely overhyped, but, that's just me. I played it for a little bit on emulation to see what the hubbub was about, and yeah, I didn't get it. Not at all.
Way to kill us right out of the gates, man.
Well,
Right out of the gates.
Man.
That's just me. I said it was not a reflective opinion of another gaming podcast. I said it was me.
It's a reflective opinion of 1/3 of another gaming podcast.
Well, this other third over here hasn't even played it, so I can't say nothing.
Oh. Yeah, I think it is one of those games where like the collectability and the rarity and the price has kind of outpaced the game. Like it's a very, very, very enjoyable, very good RPG, but I think more people are into the hype about the collectability of it than the actual game. Otherwise,
I think we should take a poll. How many people that own a copy of Earthbound at large have played it?
I've played it several times.
I'm not just you. I'm just saying everybody that owns it.
In your face.
I'm saying everybody that owns it for collectability's sake.
God,
has played it and beat it.
What you turn this into CNN or something? With your damn polls over there.
What's CNN got to do with anything?
Because they always poll things.
How about we poll what games we've been playing recently and talk about those? That sounds good, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Mine's actually a pretty short list, so I'll go first. I played and finished Lost Odyssey, and I think I made my views kind of known earlier in the podcast. It's a really great throwback to old school RPG, like old school PlayStation 1 RPGs. But if you're not into that kind of thing, you're not going to like it. And then I put in Demon Gaze for a little bit and actually really enjoyed it. But buying that Ace card and finally getting to play Summerbringer has really just kind of taken over everything because I really love Summerbringer. It's if you like sort of it feels a lot. Actually, Chance, you'd probably really like it because it feels a lot like a looting RPG, like that sort of Diablo dungeon crawler type RPG. It feels kind of like a lot like that, but kind of in a Secret of Mana type vein. So, because I'm just fighting these enemies and I keep finding more and more loot, like different boots that have different abilities. Even though they all say leather boot, they all have different abilities. So you kind of have to pick and choose your loot and things like that. But on top of that, it has what I want, which is a JRPG storyline. So. Really enjoying it. The music on this DS game is phenomenal, and I need to look up who does the music. I'm not too sure, but this is Monolith Soft. So if if you're into their stuff, you're probably going to end up liking this game. And then kind of finally, Child of Light, which I have to say is kind of a disappointment. I kind of got too into the hype a bit, but from a gameplay standpoint, I love the game. It's a side-scrolling, RPG, turn-based RPG, and the battle system is the Grandia battle system, so you cannot get any better than that. But the presentation of the storyline really just kind of drives me nuts because it's treated as sort of like a child's fairy tale, and like most children's fairy tales, the story's told in rhymes, and it gets really old really fast. Like
I heard some people saying that's like their main draw to it. They appreciate how it was in rhymes.
I'm just like, what? Why? I don't know. Like,
I'll talk about it with you here since
Yeah.
like immediately when first again I was super hyped about the game too. I was talking about it nonstop for like the week before it came out. And when you first turn on the game, that beautiful music is sitting there
Yeah.
welcoming you with these beautiful visuals, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be amazing. And again, the music continues to stay great, the visuals continue to stay great, and the story. I understand what's going on in the story. The way it's being told through rhymes, which is okay. It's cool. You're trying to do something different. I don't think it's bothering me as much as it is with you, Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm kind of what it is though. It's making the story kind of hard to follow.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make things rhyme and switching words, and sometimes it just like it gets a little confusing.
There's a couple times you sit there and you're like, now what the hell are they trying to say?
What did that mean?
Yeah.
But I kind of understand what's going on with the game, and I kind of get the vibe of what's kind of happened in the game, what like the world that I'm actually in and stuff, which is still what's making the story still kind of cool. I want to see where everything goes, which even though I kind of have a feeling where I know where it's going, but I don't find myself. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I kind of have a feeling like by the end of it, it might be a little bit of a tearjerker, or at least try to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's definitely gonna try to be if you're wrapped into it. I think it's going to. But I wish I could say stuff now about it already, but I won't say anything about it. But I find myself wanting to get to the next area to hear the next piece of music more than the story.
Yeah.
I just want to hear that next piano music that's going to play. And like you were saying, the combat, I'm having a blast at combat. Wish there was more than. I wish we could at least get a third party member on that screen.
Oh, well, you wait till you start playing Grandia. You're going to have a ball.
Oh, nice. Because the 2 per screen, I just really wish you could have at least one more party member. Yeah. But I won't say I'm disappointed because I'm still enjoying it. I'm halfway through the game on chapter 5, so we'll see how it goes for me from there. But I'm still digging it. It's got me still wanting to play it.
The only other thing I can think of is a game that I saw while I was at PAX, which is called Duet. And it's kind of this, it's an iOS game, so it's meant to be played in very short bursts. But the thing about it is you have to pay like complete attention to this game. What it is you have you're in control of a circle, and on both ends of the circle there's like these red and blue dots, and you have to like guide these dots around these squares in these stages by pressing either the right or left side of the screen, and it makes the circle rotate, and you rotate these dots around like these rectangle blocks and things. And it sounds like this really kind of boring game, but actually, and Steven, this might kind of sell it on you, although I don't know if it's on Android. I think it's just iOS.
Oh, that when I saw that little trailer when you talked about it, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah. Like for some reason the music and the narration really reminds me of Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
So, but it's only like $2 on the the App Store.
The App Store. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's just this really fun, really it's kind of addictive in its challenge, because you'll like, I made the joke, more deaths than Dark Souls, and that's kind of where the title of the last episode came from, because when I was playing this I was like, God, I'm dying more than I died in Dark Souls. But you keep playing these levels and eventually you just kind of get into the zone. It's one of those games that you just kind of zen through it,
Now, does the rhythm of the music kind of mesh with that when you're turning and mixing this or lining up things? Or
I thought that because like I was playing it at work and I had the volume turned all the way down. It's like really hard, and I was like, I wonder if the music kind of goes with how you're supposed to do that. That'd be a cool idea. Make it more of a rhythm game. But no, it's just kind of really good sort of ambient electronic music in the background.
So, and you played on your iPhone, you said, or you brought your iPad to work?
On my iPhone.
See, I was picturing. I would think it would be too hard on the iPhone, but it was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, I'd say okay on the iPad.
Because
Yeah.
it's more designed to play in the portrait mode.
Okay.
So like holding your iPad like that's really awkward.
Gotcha.
I know that from playing Shin Megami Tensei, but playing on the portrait mode on the phone is actually a lot easier.
Oh,
But
cool.
other than that, that is, I think, pretty much it. Yeah.
I haven't played too much either, so I'll go ahead and go into mine. Wow, I'm getting an echo. Hold on. Slight adjustment. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, what I've been playing, like we mentioned, Child of Light. The other game I've been playing, the other day I finished off Diablo 3 again with Alex. That was kind of sad because I was getting in there, which you mentioned in his video he put up recently. We were planning on having a long gaming session together that
He
night,
was
and I didn't
right at the
realize. Yeah, just like right at the end of the game. And when I jumped in with him, my character was a level 39, and you can max out up to 70 in the game. He was level 40. And I remember when I played through the game, my character was a level 70 by the time I finished the game, and his character was only level 40, like near the end. So I was like, what in the world? How was he so low level? But of course, that game scales the difficulty to your level now. So you could be level 20 over near the end and you'd still be able to finish it. But I mean, it was fun being able to play with him for the time we did. My buddy Bishop played with us for a little bit. And we get to the final boss, and he died during the final fight. And I felt bad for him because how would you guys feel? You're in this multiplayer game you've been working on solo the whole time. You get to the final boss, and you die during it, and someone else kills it for you. Would you feel like you had to play the game or play it again, at least the final boss fight?
Yeah, I'd have to beat the boss myself.
So, what about you, Chance?
I don't know. I don't know.
You've played the
'Cause,
whole game by yourself, and it's the final boss.
yeah, I don't know. It'd be one of those things. I'd probably just have to make that decision if it ever happened to me. I don't know if I could
Yeah.
say. I mean, my gut tells me he's like, okay, yeah, that's it. It's over. I'm done.
See, it's because
But-
we're used to playing Diablo. I'm more of the same thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, the teammates beat him. I'm good to go. Let's march on.
I guess it depends on how infuriatingly hard it was. Because
That
if it was
too.
like extremely hard, I'd be like, yeah, that's it, I'm done. If it was like a real like pushover kind of thing, and it was like a stupid death, like where completely shouldn't have died, then yeah, I probably want
Yeah.
to restart the level or whatever.
And not to say, I mean, it is a pretty challenging final boss there, but and he stayed alive for practically all the fight. Even near the end, you can revive each other in the game. I didn't want to finish him off. I kept trying to circle the boss around so I could try to get back to his body and bring him back to life, and I couldn't. So I just had to go on and finish him off without him. And
I wanted to ask, like, did you play Diablo 3 on PC originally?
I had it on PC first. Then I wanted to wait for the console version when it came out, so I double dipped for the console version.
And did
Oh,
you
one
beat the
second, no.
PC version like originally?
No, I didn't beat
Okay.
it originally.
I was gonna say because I think like a lot of what the difficulty scaling you're talking about, I think that the drops are better now than they were when the original PC version, with the auction house being no more. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
think
they
the
made
game
big
itself
changes.
is easier. Like with the auction house being gone, I think it's just easier to play the game and beat it because you get like legendary weapons and armor and stuff so much faster.
It's easy to beat it anyway, I would have said, because I mean you could just play it on normal and
Right.
I'm sure you could beat it. People were having difficulty in the harder levels, I guess, in the early build of the game. But yeah, with the huge patch they made, it's like 3 gigs large. That's free. It fixes everything. I've sure you guys heard Alex in the chat talking about it. It really resells the game to you, making you want to play it if you're a fan of it.
And
And
is
the
this
PC,
the
it was awesome.
expansion? The Reaper of
This
Souls?
Well, this patch come out before the expansion, but it is
Okay,
called
so
the Reaper Souls patch.
Okay.
So it is free. You get everything. You just don't get the extra 10 levels and the new character and the new chapter. So, but I think it is coming to console sometime, Chance. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm definitely gonna wait because I don't have a good enough PC. So
yeah, I really enjoyed it when I beat it the first time. So it was cool being able to play through and get Alex's take on it and see him. So, but other than that, more Hearthstone here and there, and I dabbled in a little bit of FIFA on the Vita because I found it at Best Buy on clearance for $2. So I was like, man, the whole world is crazy about FIFA, so I'll just pick it up. And I mean, it's a soccer game, so it was pretty cool. A way to kill time on the Vita if I had nothing else to play. And I want to say that's really it because I beat Asura's Wrath since the last episode with Crack Lotus, but got a video up on that, so y'all can check that out. And that's about it.
Oh, Steven, did you see that? Because you were talking about how Corn Muffin got you in the Soul Sacrifice. Did you see that Soul Sacrifice Delta is going to be coming out over here?
Yeah, it should, this month, right? I
Is it
thought.
this? Is it this month?
Yeah, I think it's this month. Because then I started to debate whether I wanted to just wait for Delta or get Soul Sacrifice first, and then decided I'll get the first one first because it is a little bit different. So,
Okay.
but yes, I did see that.
All right then.
All right, Chance.
Chance.
I guess I've been talking about this the entire episode, so I won't go into a lot. Etrian Odyssey 4. Still plugging away about 41 hours into it now, 41 and a half-ish. I feel like I'm getting close to the end of the game just based on what's happening. But looking at howlongtobeat.com, the average kind of completion for like just the main story is right around 55 to 60 hours. So yeah, I'm probably not as close to the end as I feel like I am, but I'm still having fun. I'm not like ready for it to get over with or anything. I'm not getting antsy. It's just it's getting really good. It's getting more difficult, and I knew that would happen. The difficulty does kind of ramp up quite a bit once you get to a certain area, but it's a lot of fun. And other than that, I did mention I was playing Stealth Inc. A Clone in the Dark on the Vita, one of the PS Plus games this month, or however long it's going to be on there, because some of those games have been on there for a long time. But yeah, it's hard to describe. It's a platformer where you're basically just trying to escape the level, and there's lots of things trying to kill you. And you play as this little clone, and you have like these goggles on, and the goggles, like when they're green, it means you are hidden, like nothing can see you, and then like they change to like an orangish color when you're partially visible, and they turn red when you're fully exposed. And so the idea, of course, is to stealth around these cameras and these like robot things to try and make your way to the end of the level. And of course, as you go through the different stages, they keep adding gimmicks. Where you have to like go flip these switches, or you like have to go stand. You have to let this laser beam pass through you, like to activate the next area. Or like the section that I'm in now is like these. You have to jump through these teleporters, and it's trying to figure out which teleporter goes where because it doesn't say. It's just a lot of trial and error. You will probably die a lot in this game. If I could compare it to a game, it's very similar to Exit on the DS and PSP, if anybody's played that. I like that game a lot too. It's a lot like that. Where it's just basically a puzzle game mixed with a platformer. It's a lot of fun. And lastly, the only other game I put a lot of time into is Plants vs. Zombies. I did pick that back up, put that back into the PlayStation 3, and it is eating my life away slowly, little bits at a time.
Do you have any interest in Garden Warfare?
I do a lot, actually.
Me too.
I don't even know if it's on the 360.
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it?
I believe
Okay.
so.
I don't think the version on the 360 is as good, but yeah, I am really interested in it because it looks a lot like Team Fortress. Like it reminds me a lot of that game, and it just looks like so much fun. I do want to play that, but I don't have an Xbox One, which would be the preferred way to play it for moi. Once again, the unfamiliar or unpopular opinion.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chance. Drive out here to my town, and my GameStop has about 6 of them used.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, how much are they used? About the same.
I don't know. I didn't look at the price. I just saw the boxes sitting there, and I was like,
Well, yeah,
Jesus.
they're very readily available. I'm
Yeah.
aware of this, and I know
Actually,
that.
that brings up
Huh?
a kind of a weird topic. Supposedly, Microsoft is going to stop production on them for a while
Really,
because
I'm not surprised.
they're selling that badly.
They're everywhere.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
um,
I see
I
just
don't.
as much PS4s here in my area, so
I
they're
haven't
about the
heard
same.
anyone come out and say, and maybe you guys have. I haven't like heard a truly like just devastating review on the system,
Yeah.
like that just tears it apart completely, limb from limb.
I should let you talk to Ernie sometime.
I said initially with
Does he hate it? I am curious.
Yeah, Ernie actually, he's pretty. I mean, he doesn't regret it because he thinks it's going to get better, but
Yeah.
he's like, oh my god, it's
See, my brother-in-law has one, and he lives right across the street from me. I've only played it a little bit, but he loves it. Like he has had not a bad thing happen with it, and he uses it every day. So I don't know. It's just it's one of those weird things. I still want one. I mean,
Yeah.
that's me. But I can say with honesty, I would really like a PS4 too. You know, I don't necessarily prefer to want. You know, I don't want a one more. I want to play Halo when it comes out, and that's the way it's going to be. So
Yeah.
I just remember the day one commentary feedback from Dustin at Ernie's house, and it
yeah,
taking hours to even play a game.
We had the trick the system into
Yeah,
thinking it was offline to install a game off the disc.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was the interesting thing. But you jumped the gun on us, Dustin, because I was saving the best for last.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Me and Chance needed to tell people about Aliens Code Marines. That's
How was
what
that
we were
jumping the
waiting for.
gun? What did I jump the gun on?
You wanted to talk about the Xbox.
I didn't
No
want
one
to talk
wants to talk
about
about the
Xbox.
Xbox One.
I didn't bring it up. Chance did.
I
I
did
want
bring it
to.
up.
Anyways, we're gonna talk about the best thing now. Aliens Code Marines story mode. Me,
Oh man,
Chance, Ducky Doo Gaming, and SNES Mapper.
even
The
the
dog
dog
threw me off.
agrees.
I'm sorry.
Duncan doesn't want you talking about this.
Oh man, it
Oh,
was so much fun.
what was it? Last Friday when we had the
Yeah, it
first session.
was a week ago
So
Friday.
last
Yeah.
Friday was our first session, and we're committed. We're gonna play through this game. What's the difficulty we're playing on? I forget what it's even
Ultimate
called.
badass.
Yes, it is the highest difficulty, and literally from the start of this game, laughter ensued. I remember it clear as day. We all load into the game. We're ready. We get the party set up. Everything's finally ready to go. We load into the map. I look around and everyone has a gun, and I'm sitting there. I don't have a gun in my hand. And at first we didn't know what was going on. Later on, Chance finally figured out and told me what I need to do. But everyone loads up with a rifle in their hand, and I'm sitting there, and you can look at me, and I'm holding my hands up like I have a gun, and there's no gun.
Oh
So
god.
from the get go, we're like, here we go. This is how this game is gonna be. So I had to play. I played the game for about an hour with just a secondary item like a shotgun. Like that's what I went through the first hour of
Like,
the
and you
game
had to
with.
find it. Like, you had to like find it laying
I had to
around.
find the gun, yeah. And then eventually, it's either Chance or Ducky. One of y'all said, well, you can open up the radio menu to bring up your gun because it's different from online and select the
Yeah,
weapon
most
manually.
Ducky. Yeah, he
It
said
was
that because
Ducky. There it
he's
is.
actually got quite a bit more experience. He played through at least like to where we ended.
I don't think he got that far, but he was right before it. Yeah.
Right before where we ended on that boss battle solo. So he was like telling us where all this stuff was. It's like he's actually like kind of the expert on the game up to that point. It was kind of cool.
And that's how it starts off until eventually learn how to get the gun. And I mean, when you first go in, it's not a pretty thing to look at. I mean, I'm not a big harper on graphics, so it's still okay with me, but I can see why people would be so pissed if they like pre-ordered during that first trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even with Dustin, you played online with us, so you know what the game looks like.
Yeah.
But the story, I couldn't tell you what's going on because we're all talking to each other and we can't hear the story.
Not listening.
We're all we got like 2 sets of headphones on each, and you can't hear the story. But the gameplay, uh, you can come in any time here, Chance, if you want. But just from a gameplay standpoint, we had fun with it. But there's some stuff with the guns. The recoil just seems ridiculous in them, doesn't it, Chance? It
Yeah, it
just
was. It's one of those things though, where as bad as some of the stuff is, and like glitchy mess that it is, and like I remember like the one part when we were down in the sewer with the couple of aliens that were supposed to be killing us. They
yeah,
were just following us around like pets. Like
pets.
as bad as it really is, it is so much fun. Like to just run around and shoot stuff. Like it is just it's one of those things. It's so bad it's good, I think.
That part of the game I want to paint a picture for people with two key moments, and that's one of the moments. In this area, there's these creatures where you're walking through these sewers, these aliens and or necromorphs, where you're sitting there and they sense you by movement. So you're supposed to sit still so if they come by you, they won't sense you. I couldn't tell you how many times we're sitting still and one of those things charges at us like a kamikaze man with bombs strapped to him and just blows us up.
Yeah, and it
And you get
blows
blown
up.
to
Yeah.
pieces.
Just-
So one time I just decided to Leroy Jenkins down the hallway. That didn't work. That was unsuccessful as well. But it left to a moment of a standstill where it was just Ducky by himself trying to get through that level. And if you never play with Ducky, he even though he hates first person shooters, he's not a big fan of them. And he was left alone in this environment to try to do it by himself. And it was just one of the funniest things because he's just slowly tiptoeing everywhere direction. I guess the way you should play it. And you could just tell, you could sense the tension in his voice that he didn't want to be the one who's doing it. But I
I
mean,
just
he
love
was
how
the
he
one
like
there doing it.
he would just stand still, like for like long periods of time. Like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know. Do I go over here? What do I do? It's
It'd
like
be a
I can't
couple
see.
minutes.
Turn around
Yeah.
so we can see.
It'd be a couple minutes of him just standing there like, okay, you're safe to move. We don't think they're coming. And he'd still stand there like he just wasn't quite ready to take that step forward.
Well, he made it through that part. I remember.
He
Like
did.
then,
He
and then that's
made
when
it
we
through.
fell down into the part where they were like not killing us.
Yeah, so these creatures that were so deadly to us, we get to that part of the level where it's a room we are kind of confused with first because it's a tight room and the exit's right there, but you got to open the door. And Bruno just said, "Screw it," and he went down to open the door. And while he was doing it, you could see the necromorphs on his back. They wanted to attack him, but I guess since he was doing the animation of opening the door, it broke the game right there for him. So as soon as the door opened, they became our little pet necromorphs, and we just started leading them around in circles and letting them following us. And I have it recorded on my computer here, a crappy recording of evidence of this happening.
We should have just recorded the session because there was just so many of the, like small moments. You know,
There
they
were.
were just so laughable and funny, especially like the last battle that we did with the was it called the Raven?
Oh, that
Is that what it was
freaking
called?
boss fight.
Oh man, that
goodness.
was such a broken fight. Oh my gosh, that should not exist the way that it is. But
Okay, I got two more highlights. Another Ducky moment, which I explained to Dustin already. We were playing through the game, and this game pulls you. If you get too far in front of each other, it does a good job of pulling you toward each other so you don't get away if you get to a checkpoint. Chance, and Bruno were a little bit of ways ahead, and Ducky was out exploring by himself. We were in a room where we saw a big wheel, and we're like, that's kind of odd that a big wheel's here. We all saw it, moved on, and then Ducky went into the room a little later after us. And then in the background, we hear a faint explosion. And then Ducky says, "Oh crap! I just killed myself." But I just blew myself up. It was so funny, just if you know Ducky and the way he talks. It just put me in tears because only that would have happened to. Looking at a big wheel. How do you blow up looking at a big wheel? What do you do?
oh man,
And then, as I take a sip of drink first, real quick, because this is probably the worst thing in the game. Later on in Aliens Colonial Marines, you're not just fighting necromorphs. You're fighting actual human soldiers, I guess. And all these soldiers pretty much wear the same white suits. I think chances are going with this. You have your basic infantry that are dressed in a white kind of armor, and then you'll get this big, heavy armored infantry guy who, I mean, they were a pain in the butt to kill on this difficulty.
Really strong. Yeah.
So, I guess
Sponges.
I don't know who was the first one to say it, but it caught on pretty quick. Whenever a different type of enemy comes into a game, you kind of point out like, hey, there in Resident Evil, there's a licker or something, or any other game, or there's a heavy gunner. Make sure we kill them first. Well, the name that this guy got, just because he was covered in white, was the White Guy. So whenever we go to a room, and then all of a sudden one popped out from a corner, we'd be like, oh crap, there's a white guy. And it just sounds so stupid while we're playing a game. And
Kill all the white men.
yeah, exactly. We're white people, so it doesn't sound racist. So I was like, please don't let there be a big black dude in this, because we're going to be saying, oh crap, here comes the black guy. But it was just so funny every time a white guy would come in the scene and kill somebody. I'm like, crap, the white guy killed me again. The stupid white guy. So,
Kill the white man. Kill him until he is dead.
I just remember that one section too where you have to like take out those turrets, and there was just so many of the white guys in there.
yeah.
And like it was just so difficult to get.
That was you in
around.
there on your own, because it was
Yeah,
me and you,
like,
right? Then I
think we
died.
had to like there was like the second try at least. Like we had to restart that segment at least once, maybe twice. Yeah, and it was a pain, but yeah, we managed.
Yeah, at first, Bruno was telling us how this difficulty ain't bad. And then, like, 5 minutes within, we all died, and we're like, yeah, this ain't hard at all. But we stuck with it, and, I mean, like I said, it's fun. It's full of its glitches, and the gameplay isn't the best first-person shooter gameplay, but, I mean, it's fun. With
The only
other
truly
people.
hard parts are those glitchy parts, though. It's like, this should work, but it doesn't because the game is glitchy.
Yeah, Chance was talking about that boss fight we got, too. The first time we got there, we ran around for about 5 minutes waiting for the boss to come. Constantly
it was
fighting
longer
endless
than
waves
that.
of necromorphs, and the boss never came. We had to reload it because no boss showed up.
We ran out of ammo and all died. It was like, okay. And then we restart it, and then the boss is right there as soon as we restart it. It's like, okay. Good. And then we had to replay that battle like 6 times, felt like. Because
probably
the
more than
boss
that.
was so strong. And you had to use the power loader to kill it. Like, there was no way you could kill it with your guns. Like, it was not going to happen.
And we're being trophy junkies during this playthrough, so there was a trophy. If you could beat this boss in under 1:10, you got a trophy. And we all swore up and down we thought we did it, and then when the achievement didn't unlock, we were all a little sad that we didn't get it, but hey, we still got through it, though, which was a pain.
It had to be just seconds over the time, though. Like, seriously. Because once you figured out, like, the trick to killing him, like, you had to, like, what actually happened, you guys didn't see it because I was in the power loader. He actually glitched into the wall and couldn't get out.
So the only way we won was because of a glitch.
Because the game is broken.
Wow.
He glitched into a wall, and I just beat the crap out of him with the power loader, and he couldn't, and that was it. And that's how we won. So, yeah, take that for what you will, I guess.
Yeah, but it was a good time, and just the
It was
randomness created a lot of highlight moments. I remember just me randomly exploding one time right in front of Bruno, and he was just like, what the heck just happened? And he was laughing hysterically because I just blew up in front of him for no reason.
Well, there was one segment, too, where you left the room or something to go do something, and Ducky, Bruno, and I just tried this section like 6 times. It's like, oh, we can't do it. We need this other person. Just like, there's so many enemies. It's like, and the human enemies are actually a lot harder than the xenomorphs. Like, it's
and
surprising.
You had to kill me one time while I was gone too, right? Just to progress through the level.
Yeah. We couldn't get to where we needed to go because you wouldn't like come up to us because we had to go up an elevator, and the checkpoint wouldn't activate until we had gone up the elevator.
That's another broken thing in the game is anytime you're low on health, I mean, if you die, you can revive each other in the game. You just go up and revive them. But say you just finished a fight and you're about to go into another fight and there's no health packs nearby, you can just have one of your buddies kill you and then they'll revive you and you'll be at full health. and full ammo. So I mean,
It was great.
it was a way to implement the system. They're like, "Hey, Ducky, you need to be killed," so we'd kill him off and
Come
let him
here, let
get
me kill you.
So one of the highlights.
I
So
can't
if
wait
you're-
to play it again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I need to get it on this sometime. So
we're
in
gonna
your
try to finish it.
in your guys' expert opinion, which is the worst game? Aliens, Colonial Marines, or Duke Nukem Forever?
We haven't played Duke Nukem, so we can't judge it yet.
I have never played Duke Nukem Forever. I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we're having fun
honestly,
with this game, so
I
it
was gonna
can't
say-
be the worst ever.
I was gonna say honestly, right now it sounds like Aliens, Colonial Marines is the worst game with all the glitches because I don't remember that many glitches in Duke Nukem. It's just really, really, really fucking boring.
Yeah, see,
And it's also Gearbox, huh? How about that?
yeah, Aliens, as bad as it is, though, it's still a lot of fun. But I think it would not be as much fun if I was playing solo.
Hey
Oh, yeah.
guys, Duke Nukem Forever. Network players 2 to 8.
Are you serious?
Yes. I would totally buy that just to experience that multiplayer.
That's got to be deathmatch mode stuff. So.
Yeah, it's
oh
right.
man,
But still,
yeah. Hey,
we can make Ducky go out and buy another first-person shooter.
game night is all about the cheap, crappy games right now. Apparently, until the
Hey,
Nintendo stuff comes up.
Hey,
The Street
Chance.
Fighter's not a crappy game, though.
Oh yeah, correction.
I forgot to say that in games I've been playing.
Hey, Chance.
Yes.
Front Mission Evolved, PS3, network players 2 to 8.
I don't think I can pay people to buy that game, but
What?
I would gladly go double dip and rebuy that game for PS3 for the opportunity to play online.
Yeah. I still think which one was it? Was it Red Faction Guerrilla? That's one. It's 2 to 16 on Red Faction Guerrilla.
Oh wow, on Gorilla. Nice.
Yeah.
Did Armageddon have any multiplayer?
It's got co-op, but it doesn't have.
It does have co-op?
Yeah, it's got
It
2 to
did?
4 network co-op.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only $5 on PSN right now.
I'm quickly looking through my PS3 games for multiplayer games. Metal Gear Solid 4, 1 to 16.
I mentioned that to Alex and them, and they said it was so bad. So yes, we got to play it.
So yes, we have to. Oh,
So
God.
there's a bunch of stuff out there for us to do on game night.
Literally the rarest game on the PlayStation 3, Blazing Angels 16.
That is funny. People, this game, I think it's like a $5 or $6 game.
It's a
But
six.
good luck finding it anywhere.
Yeah.
Me and Dustin are lucky. We got our copies.
It took me forever to find it.
What about Doom 3? Does it have online?
Let me see real quick. Oh, well, I got Doom 3 on the goddamn Xbox
360.
360. Yeah.
I know it has like deathmatch, but I didn't know if it had like I don't know if there's
just-
a co-op mode.
Yeah, it says players one online multiplayer 2 to 4 players, so that's not.
Because I've actually played the multiplayer on that, and it's a lot of fun. But
What about Tron? Tron Evolution network players 2 to 10.
Hold on. You got that game?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Have you played it any?
I haven't. No, I picked it up for like $7 or something.
That with the collector's edition was like $20 one time. I wanted to get it, but it sold out.
Yeah.
And I'm a Tron fan, so I wanted to give it a try. But hey, 2 to 10.
2 to 10.
Nice.
What about Uncharted? Yeah, Uncharted 3's got it. Last
And
of Us
that's
has got it.
That's
Heck
got
yeah.
free. I think the Uncharted 3 is actually free on PlayStation for everybody.
There you
yeah,
go.
it is.
Tomb Raider, that's free if you got Plus.
Yep.
It's a whole slew of PlayStation goodies.
A literal
It was play.
slew. Game nights. We're going to make them happen.
They are, and hopefully in the near future I will have HD capture going on.
Oh,
So,
crap. Alone in the Dark Inferno. Number of players. Online 0. Crap.
can't play alone in the dark.
What about Back to the Future of the game? Oh.
The single player adventure game.
I'm getting crazy now.
I guess when we start to get to crazy, that means it's time to end it.
We're all getting slap happy.
Yeah, I think this was a good episode, though. Good, solid first iTunes official episode.
Except
I'm
for all of my unpopular opinions.
Oh. Hey, I was talking about hating Dark Souls, so
Yeah, there you go.
if there's a ton of thumbs downs, then I'm the reason, and I'm okay with
And
it.
I don't hate Call of Duty. I enjoy playing those games. So just haven't played one in about 3 years, or picked one up new.
Well, I'm all for waiting for games to go down in price, just in general. Like, I was just telling Dustin, like, I think it was when we were taking a break. I don't think I have bought a 2013 or 2014 release yet this year. I don't think I have any yet. So, if that says anything about
It's been
what
the
I think
lowest
about
for
waiting for
me,
games to get
and
cheap.
yeah, it's been the lowest for me as far as my count as 2014 releases than I've had in a while. Yeah, I think I've only have maybe 5 or 6 that came out this year. So
I might have more than that.
I think by the end of last year I had 23 or 25. So I don't think I'm gonna hit that mark this year.
I have 8.
Yeah, now that I'm saying 5 or 6, that sounds kind of high. Bravely Default, Lightning Returns, and I can't remember anything else. I guess Reaper of Souls would count. I don't know.
I have Outlast, South Park, Child of Light, Shin Megami Tensei,
Oh yeah, Child
Strider,
of Light.
Danganronpa, Infamous, and Bravely Default. And then I have Conception 2. So I guess there's more.
Yeah, I want like all of those games. I just haven't bought them yet.
Alrighty.
You should look in the Strider, Chance.
Yeah, that's a definite one because we were just talking about Dust a little bit ago too.
It was a lot of fun.
That what I've seen of it, watching I think it was Riddler on YouTube did a couple of videos anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that game looks amazing. So yeah, I definitely want to try that.
Yep.
All right, I guess that's it. Did
Steven?
Steven die?
Did he die?
No, I was just trying to stay quiet long enough to see how long it would take for y'all to ask me. No, I'm still here. Yeah, we want to call it a night there then?
Sure.
Awesome.
I believe
Well,
so.
everyone, thanks for listening. Again, if you like us, go ahead and leave a good, kind review on our iTunes and let us know what you think, things you need to improve on. If you want to get to know us a little bit better, come on over to the Facebook page.
Yes, seriously, come be active on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Come hang out and chat with other people in the AGP community. We got 120 something likes over there right now, so come bump us up 100 more.
120 something likes, and we'll say like 6 very active.
6 active participants, 6 to 10 active participants.
But the entire reason for us setting up that Facebook page was to interact with you guys more. So we do really want you guys to interact more, and I do know that we kind of set the page up wrong.
Yeah.
We set up as a fan page and not a group page. So, but
it gets tough to see the other people's posts once in a while over there when they post something.
You have to hit that button that says other posts. But yeah, sorry.
We apologize for that. Don't really feel like redoing it though, so because we like to keep it lazy over here. That's our saying. Keep it lazy.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm done. Good night, you guys.
Night, everyone.
So long, farewell.
Alvidas and good night.
Yeah, that stuff.